What's up, y'all? That's close enough to 2. Sorry I'm a little late today. I had to get groceries put away, I had to take a bit of a shower, and then I also had to give my beard a slight trim because it was getting pretty lengthy, but we're good. So, what do we want to work on today? There's a couple things that I want to do, but the biggest one is I would really like to do some actual focused parent runs. So if we come in here and we look at, I think it's you. No, it's not you. If we look at the Daiwa Scarlet that we've got as our current guest borrow, our 3 speed, 3 medium, 3 red ace, there's a couple things on this Scarlet that I actually want to try and chain outside of Unity Cup as a scenario. I want to take Umastan, I want to take Ignited Speed, I want to take Ignited Power. I want to try and put that onto something else, and basically try and make a grandparent that we can take into URA Finale and try and get a few more white sparks on. So I think that's going to be the plan. I don't really know specific style, distance, etc. at this point. I'm going to try and keep it agnostic. The big white sparks I'd be looking for are Umastan, Ignited Speed, Ignited Power, Slipstream, Playtime's Over, Groundwork. I'm going to try and aim for those 6. And if I see those 6 white sparks, I would be happy. And then later, we can work on chaining that into actual parents and stuff like that. So let's get our free scout out of the way first. And see if we manage to get lucky off of this. It does not look like that will be happening. And then we'll also get our team trials runs out of the way so that we can let some of those recharge. And then we'll see if we can't get into a few... Why are you open? I did all of my rounds. No? Yes, okay. This is also what the win rate is looking like. Well, we are, well, we're in here. We are at 30-20-20. So we have slight asterisk because this Nishino has not been in every round. She's only done 45, whereas Taiki and Groove have done the full 80. But we're at roughly a 70% win rate for this CM, which is very good, I would say. Slipstream's a pain to loop. Source, you're currently trying to loop it. It's really hard to get, which is why I want to get it onto White Sparks. I don't know of a single support card that actually guarantees Slipstream. You can basically only get it through random hints, which is a giant pain in the butt. So if we could get our hands on... Scarlet should be fine. You're at 800 and a gold to run a 3000, you should be fine. If we could get our hands on a parent that has Slipstream as a white spark, that would be really neat. Because it would be a nice skill to have, and it's a fairly difficult skill to get. So let's go get this out of the way. Been running Helios and Inus's Wit together to get it. I don't remember if I have Inus's Wit card or not. I'm planning on trying to get it off of Sweet Tosho, because I know that I've got Tosho. That's probably going to be my current plan. I think I'm going to run like Sweet Tosho, Speed, King Halo Power. I need to check and see if I have Sirius Symboli's SSR Wit or Curran's SSR Wit, because that would be where I'd get Playtime's Over from. If not, this is going to take forever. If not, we're going to go and find some other support card that actually has it. And then Groundwork I can get off of my Box and Guts card. So I know where I can get all of those skills, and they're not that difficult to try and put together. It's just a question of getting them all to manifest as white sparks at the end of a run. That's going to be the primary challenge. Get these done, and then we'll probably go and pop into Uma.Guide first, and then we'll hop over to Uma.Moe after that to actually find a parent that has the stuff that we want. You have a 56% win rate with Taiki, Summer Maru, and Curran. How is your Summer Maru Zensky going? Because I haven't seen a single frontrunner yet who actually looks good. And I wonder if I'm just getting lucky lobby draws, or if fronts are just really not that strong in this particular CM. I would love to see a front runner in our finals tomorrow. I would be so happy with that. 15? That's pretty good. I think you have definitely built a better front runner than most of the front runners I've seen in lobbies that I've been in. Fronts won 2 of the 80 rounds for your CMs. That sounds about closer to what I would expect. I'm also still irritated that we lost a round yesterday to a double 5-6-4 team. I think we should have won that one as well, but that one was disappointing. Triple front at 67.5. Triple front is an interesting idea. I haven't been beaten by a triple front team yet, but I can at least understand the theory behind it. You're denying half of the good acceleration spots in the lobby, assuming that your fronts can actually be, you know, first through third going into late race. Alright, so let's go and put something together here. We are targeting a few things, and we would like this to be a grandparent. And then later we can attach a parent to the top of it. So in terms of thinking about what we want a good grandparent to look like, I would love to aim for like generic good sparks. Or not generic good sparks, generic good greens. I want something that like works on a lot of tracks, is fairly generic. I can use it in a lot of different places. So stuff like Taiki, that's out. Taiki's unique is either it does everything you need it to, or it does absolutely nothing. Gold chip is pretty specialized into end closers and also isn't really a particularly good unique anyway. Instead, I'm looking at people like Special Week, where all you have to do is pass, and then you get current speed and you get a little acceleration. I'm also looking at, I guess Satono Diamonds is like fairly generic, but I think among what I've got currently, I would love to have a Special Week grandparent and just have the option of buying Shooting Star in a bunch of different random ace runs, because Shooting Star works absolutely everywhere and it's good absolutely everywhere. Digital's passing to Digital's a good shout too. We could also do a digital run. Let's do Special Week first, and then we can think about digital, because the advantage of digital is built in Umastan. So we always get Umastan. We don't have to wait to inherit it. It just automatically shows up. So let's go... unique sparks for all runners 3 is probably the fastest way to find the Daiwa Scarlet. It's you, right? Yeah, speed, medium, resplendent red ace. So we take you. And then we have a short list of white sparks that we're aiming for. So if we pop over to uma.moe, we're going to look for a couple things. We don't actually care who the target parent is, because this is going to be a fairly generic parent. We're going to end up using it for a lot of different runners. So I don't really care about maxing affinity for one person specifically. We also don't really care who it is, although I have a short list of runners that I'd be looking for. It's like Symbole Rudolph, Agnes Digital, Ogre Cap, any of those I think would be quite nice here. We're going to look for blue sparks, at least 7 or more. Pink sparks, at least 7 or more. We'd also like the parent themselves to be at least 2. And we'd like pinks to be at least 2. And then for white factors required, we want Umastan. The entire point of doing these runs is that we're going to try and chain Umastan together, because the more white sparks that you have on your parents and grandparents, the more likely it is to turn into a white spark for your current parent run. We're also going to look for Ignited Spirit Power for the same reason. We would like to turn that into a white spark. And then these are required. We're also going to have preferred. This is going to be Slipstream. This is going to be Playtime's Over. This is going to be Groundwork. These are our 3 nice to haves. We're not going to disqualify a parent that doesn't have them, but we would really like to have them if we can get them. And then we also want to do the same thing over here further down in the inheritance to maximize the total number of sparks that we're getting. So Umastan here as well, Ignited Power here as well, Ignited Spirit Power. And then for preferred, or I guess lineage Lineage is probably also fine. We go Slipstream. We go Playtime's Over. We go Groundwork. Those are our big 5. And we don't want to add too many, because the more that we add in, the harder it's going to be to actually hit all of them on a run. So we don't want to go crazy here and start adding like, oh, give me medium straights and corners too, because I might want to make a medium parent. Give me Nimble Navigator, because Grand Live is about to start and we don't get Nimble Nav for free. We want to try and stay focused. And specifically, we want to try and stay focused on getting white cards that are difficult to get off of support cards specifically. So when we were doing our CM prep runs for Leo, we were using Bakshin Guts, and we were using Bakshin Guts because she guarantees groundwork. But if we could be getting groundwork off of our legacy, that slot could have been like Daiwa Scarlet Power instead, so that we could have gotten neck and neck. It gives us more flexibility to have some of these difficult to obtain white sparks off of support cards as our inheritance factors instead, so that we can focus on doing more deck building. That actually only gives us one result. Let's turn this down a little bit so they have a little bit more to play with. 7, and here's an Ogre. Okay, this is more what I'm talking about. So this is Playtime's Over, Slipstream, Groundwork, Umastand, Ignited Power. We also get Racing Stamina here. We also get Tail Held High. We also get Risky Business, Nimble Navigators here, Corner Adept, Straight Adept, Ramp Up. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of parent that we want to use for our chaining endeavors, because it's covered in white sparks that are going to up our chance of also getting that inheritance. The affinity is good, so we know there's a lot of potential shared G1 wins. If we want to use this Ogre further down in a chain, this is the one that we want. So let's grab that. Is groundwork useful outside of fronts? It is in some circumstances. So like for the current CM, because you want to be one of the pace chasers that's towards the front in late race, I think having groundwork is very important. I've also heard that as more skills become available, that you just run groundwork on everybody, because there's high enough skills density that you basically chain velocity skills all the way through pace down mode for like the first half of the race. So that's also a bit of what we're aiming for. So let's go and find this Ogre. Sort by affinity bonus. You should be very close to the top. This is... that's Shawnee's. We don't want that one. We want Cole's. This is Cole's. 3 speed, 2 medium, 2 triumphant pulse, groundwork, slipstream, tail held high, Umastand, ignited power. No ignited speed here is fine. It's not that important. We can just buy it, but also racing spirit stamina is quite nice. So there's stuff that we can work with here. Let's get that loaded up. And then as far as deck is concerned, we also want to be trying to get Playtime's Over, Slipstream, Umastand, etc. on our end, so that we can make sure that even if we whiff on inheritances, we can still get our hands on those skills. So, groundwork is going to come from Bakshin Guts. Slipstream is going to come from Sweet Tosho Speed, which is here. And then we're going to go pop open Umadot Guide, and we're going to see what the best source is for Playtime's Over. Because there's a couple places you can get it, and I just don't know what those places are offhand. So if we search Playtime's Over, and we come down here to Sources, we get it off of Palmer. We get it off of Fujin's SR Wit, which I'm pretty sure we have. Let's see if we can add that in from somewhere. I think I have at least one copy of that. I do. Ooh, she's 3 uncaps. Okay, so that's one source. What other sources do we have? Maruzensky Speed. Muteki Power is a really fun card to use for parent runs. So it's Muteki Power, Kuren Wit, Symboli Wit. I don't think I have any of those, unfortunately. Definitely don't have Muteki Power, but I do want to bring King Halo for Umastan. Summer Maruzensky could be the borrow. She probably is at this point, because I need to get a second speed card from somewhere. And I also need a second wit card, which is really looking like Marvelous Sunday right now for just value of hints. Because this is more tail held high, and it's ramp up and straightaway adept, which would also be fine. So how does this look? Filter down to just SSR speed. This is option 1. The only thing that I don't like about this deck is it doesn't guarantee playtime's over. Because we don't have a support card chain that we can end to get PTO. But I do need to fit a second speed card in here somewhere just to be able to clear career. I think we can try this and we can just see if we get lucky off. PTO's 1 in 6. It's from hints, isn't it? It's like, it's 1 in 6, but we still have to get her hints. Or I guess we could get it from Unity training too. Yeah, you know, that's true. Rudolph gives playtimes over in her first event chain? Wait, really? I don't see that listed on Uma.guide at all. You're thinking of serious Symboli, right? Not Symboli Rudolph. SSR Rudolph Stam. Really? Rudolph. I don't see it listed. It's not to say that you're wrong, it's that it's not on Uma.guide. So we might have to go and talk to Uma.guide about like why it's missing. I know it comes from Symboli Wit, but I don't have an easy way to access that. Like if we had a, you know, just a raw, no uncapped Symboli Wit, I could throw that in. I don't want it to be my borrow. I think I can just try this. And then this is going to be parents. Well, parent UC specifically. Because this is parent TB. Totally different calculus going into those two. So let's give this a spin, and let's see how we're looking. There you go. So the only parent-run technology that we're really going to engage in here is we just want to run all of the G1s that we can. Because that's going to build our inheritance over the course of the run. Our stamina is going to be pretty shaky here. So we're going to need to think about how to get that up. But besides that, we'll see how we're looking. I love the idea of a Marvelous Sunday hint already. Isn't PTO's value on a parent somewhat reduced because of Light Hello? I have no idea. I haven't looked at Light Hello at all. So if she gives guaranteed PTO, that will diminish the value of that as a white spark a little bit. Holy crap. Over the course of Grand Life. Nice whip training. Good, good, good. Played with me in World vs. World and you're pleased and surprised I'm playing Uma. You may be one of like 4 people who watches both. You are part of a very small club, Athene. I like the speed training. Light Hello gives gold PTO? Okay, yeah, so we're not going to have to worry about PTO that much as a white spark for Grand Life. But that's fine, because we haven't really gone out of our way. I mean, I definitely don't need 100 energy, let's be realistic here. We're not really going out of our way to get our hands on PTO here. Like, Maruzensky also gives groundwork and a few other things. So, I think that's fine. And also, Fujin gives a bunch of other stuff. So, we haven't really done anything too bad. Stamina 10 for sure, because I'm already thinking about how we survive the Spring Tenno. I like the idea of a Sunday hint here, even though it's a pretty weak Unity training overall. Let's get a little bit of a discount on that. Tail held high is good. Stamina. 2 spirit training, and it's on wit. Say no more. PTO is still useful because we're going to be a bit limited on skill points. Yeah, I mean, making it cheaper is nice. 1, 1. How much do I care about Bokshin hints? Basically not at all. So we're trying to make a distance agnostic parent here. I'm not trying to make a medium parent specifically, a mile parent specifically, anything like that. Everything that Boction does is very sprint specific. So I don't really prioritize those hints that highly. They are not super valuable to me. We'll just stick on whip training to preserve energy here, and honestly, that could have been a wreck too, maybe. We could have maybe thought about just taking our recreation there to get our mood up, but too late now. 2 spirit trainings, 1 spirit training, 2 spirit trainings, and 2 friends. And energy saving. Got a super lucky new character pull on the free pull. Who did you get out of it? Was it Ricky or was it somebody else? We'll just save the energy. I get Fujin's event chain started. She gets 2 mood. That's true. I could be planning around that a bit. I don't think I mind this power training. Our energy is fine, and these are 2 low friendships. Let's take that. And then do we have anything we need to buy at this point? I don't think so. Adept can get cheaper. Tail Health High can get cheaper. So let's run with that. I think I can also just run pace here for the sake of consistency. Good. Had to pity for Ricky, but got Rudolph Bright, Nishino Flower, and Smart Falcon. That's a really nice series of constellation pulls if you had to pull 200 times on a carrot banner. That's a very nice pool of trainees to have. This is Umastan. So we at least have that. 1 spirit training, 2 spirit training, and potential slipstream. 1 spirit training. I would be willing to gamble for slipstream here specifically. I think anytime we see a sweep Tosho hint, we basically have to take it. Because slipstream is going to be the most difficult hint to get our hands on here by far. This is groundwork. Done. Have I gotten Commander Special Week yet? Yeah. We've got Commander Special Week. That got taken care of. Did I not inherit Mile? I didn't inherit Mile. We can still try and win some Mile Cs. It's not impossible. Let's go here and here. Let's go here. And here. And here. And here. And then we're going to save this as a schedule afterwards, so we don't have to do this again. Here and here. And here. I actually might have this as a schedule already. Medium long G1. Mile medium long G1? That sounds right. I made this a very long time ago. This is not correct. Parts of it are correct, but parts of it are not correct. Like we're missing both of the junior year G1s. Let's rebuild this schedule and then resave it. This is correct. Yes, that part is correct. Okay. Save here. Wait, that's Mile Medium Dirt. Mile Medium Long. Save this here. There we go. Alright, now we have a correct schedule to use. 2, 1, 1, 2. I should probably go ahead and use a burst up, though. Just to get our facilities leveling here a bit. Speed Eater's fine. It's distance specific. I don't know that that's something I'm really going to be that interested in. What's up? Wow, I wish I could take that guts training. We'll just take a rest instead. Futurity stakes instead of the JF. You're right, it should be JF instead. We can also just end this chain at this point, because I don't really care about getting light as a feather. So let's get rid of that. This should be the JF, because everybody else's parents are going to be doing the JF, because it was better in Track Blazer, and also the White Spark is marginally better. Take the speed training for friendship and spirit training. Disorient is not useful to us. 1, 1, 3. However, Fujin Hint for playtimes over and Slipstream. This is something we need to prioritize for the sake of it being a parent run, even though that wit training is substantially better. Moxie is not what we're looking for, but we can try again. This is our double mood up, so it pays to wait. One, 3, 1, 1. This is a wit training. Good. 2, 1, 3, and still 2 friendships. This is a nice one because they're both wit cards, but this is just more spirit training. 2 cards done. Yeah, we're making good progress through our event chains. I think, wow, it's a good stamina training too. I was going to say this guts training is good enough to take, but this stamina training is also really good. This is 2 cards to burst. This is only 1. It's 1 more spirit training, but it's not as important of a stat. I can take stam here, it's fine. And then we need to see a burst on wit here specifically to... Wow, our trainings have been phenomenal, man. We just don't have the energy for it. What do I want to do here? I think I want to rest. I don't think this training is good enough, and we don't have enough energy late November to do anything. I think I have to rest here, even though that's a really nice set of trainings if we had the energy for them. Lose a bit of mood, that's... Oh my god. Good lord, man. I mean, you can't not click that. There's nothing else happening this turn. Gimme that power training. Oh, baby. Shower me in hints. Outer post proficiency's fine. This is just going to be something for longs that doesn't matter, or disorient. Okay, so we got 3 horrible hints from those bursts, but we got like 80 power out of that. And then we get to extreme burst this turn. Single extreme burst on wit, whatever. These are all fine. Like, this wit training is fine, the stam training's fine. But this is a parent run, which means we need to be taking G1s. Anything we can buy here to help our odds is going to be good, because we're only mile C. So I think we can do something like this. Because these are going to be a little shaky. I wonder if we could give up on playtimes over as a white spark and maybe find a borrow legacy that has some mile sparks in there somewhere to fix attributes. It's unfortunate, but at least we still get skill points out of it. Milesy is going to be a little iffy. That might be something that we try and fix for runs going forwards. This should not be a problem at all, though. Yeah. Hopefully after we hit our classic inheritance, we can just outstat a lot of the miles. Also, I think we won 2 back-to-back energy gambles there, which is sick. So we're at 33, 4, and 0. If we had used a couple extreme spirit bursts, this would be an extremely strong Unity Cup team. As is, I think we'll be fine. But I think we're doing really well for ourselves so far. Good. Team rank to 22. Yeah, NPC Nishino doesn't ult. She's just insanely strong anyway. Energy 20. 2 spirit trainings, 3 spirit trainings, and relevant friendships, and Sweep Tosho to burst. It's hard to say no to that wit training. What deck am I using? I can switch to deck here. This is a parent run, so the deck is going to look a little weird. It's a great time to get a mood up. We have Bakshin for groundwork, we have Ina's Fujin for PTO and Slipstream, we have King Halo for Umastan, we have Sweep Tosho for Slipstream, We have Marvelous Sunday for tail held high, and something else. Tail held high and ramp up, I guess. And then we have Marazensky for groundwork and PTO and Slipstream. So it's all 6 of these cards are doing something White Spark related for us right now. Yeah, I'm going to be taking that with training. This would be a crazy ace run right now. This would be an insane ace run. But that is not the plan that we are on right now. We can get our career goal race out of the way. Good. So we can win G3 miles. It's a question of whether we can win G1 miles. First on Guts, but it's pretty underwhelming. It's pretty underwhelming. It's fine. Actually, it's good. I want to work on Sunday's Friendship. And it's 3 Spirit Trainings. Yeah, I'll be taking that. That finishes all of my friendships. It puts Marazensky and Marvelous Sunday to burst. We'll be taking this speed training. That's pretty good. It's pretty alright. Yeah, it just does everything. That's all that training does, is it does everything that we need it to do. Totally fine with the energy gamble on this event. Paying 5 energy for 30 stats is a crazy exchange rate. And then I can just burst on Wit to get all my energy back? Yeah, that seems pretty good. And then this takes us into First Inheritance. There's Ramp Up done. Early lead is a little style specific to pick up for this, probably. Looking for big white sparks. Ignited Power. Corner Adept. Racing Spirit Stamina. There's a lot to like there. And then we're into Satsuki Show. Do I want to buy any of this? You could get cheaper. You could get cheaper, and also I don't really care if you turn into a Spark. You can't get cheaper. You will get cheaper. You... I'm not doing. You... I could prune you at this point. Let's get that out of here. Yeah, Medium S is also a really nice pickup to just smooth over our RNG in these actual races. So we're giving up a single Rainbow Wit that's also a burst. We're giving up a pretty bad burst on Guts, and we're giving up, like, no other trainings at all for the Satsuki Show. That seems easy enough. This is a general parent or for something specific. I'm trying to build a grandparent special week that has Slipstream, PTO, Umastand, Groundwork, Ignited Spirit Power as White Sparks. That's the plan. We're trying to loop some very specific White Sparks onto a grandparent that we can just use for general purposes going forwards. Because basically everybody doesn't mind inheriting Special Week's unique skill. This is a decent chunk of energy back. You can't fail, but then we'd be doing 4 races on 0 energy. I don't think that's a great idea. Let's get a little bit of energy back before we run this 4-race gauntlet Trackblazer style. I guess actually, so we could skip the Yasuda Keenan, and we could push that to senior year. Then we wouldn't have to run 4 in a row, but also we could run it classic and senior, and we could just get more skill points out of it, which is probably still beneficial. I think we should probably just run it twice, to be honest. I can do Yasuda Senior, but I could also just get another, 70 skill points from doing it both years. Let's go. That's Affinity. Derby should not be a problem at 327 Stam. just gonna send it. I'm gonna do a junior, classic and senior. I want the skill points. The same thing for QE2 Cup, same thing for Arima Keenan. Also, if we run it classic and we win, we could skip it senior. Because we are Mile C, so it's not like it's guaranteed. Giving up decent trainings, but nothing spectacular. Special Week's unique feels so good in career, gotta try and see him. I think it's busted. I think it's really good. I think it's like triumphant pulse levels of there are not a lot of circumstances where you don't want to have it. It's just a question of like, can you afford it? But I think it's up there for like top 5 best generic uniques in the game now. Can check the training on those races if it's worthy to skip. Nah, I'm just gonna send it. I want the skill points. We can find time to do the trainings later. That's fine. So we rest into summer break. That brings us up to good. We do 1 wit training, and then we're fine, and we can do anything we want. We're at 45, 7, and 3. We do need to win the Yasuda Keenan in senior year, though. Good. Would argue that skipping QE2 Classic is that I'm risking skin condition with no skin cream. Yeah, but, like, you can fix mood. I wish that I could take that, but we need to work on our energy first. No, I mean, like, the infirmary exists. I can fix it with non-track blazer related means. We take this wit for energy. I also take this wit for energy. I don't have to take this power burst because it destroys our ability to train next turn. And then after this, I think I'm looking for an extreme burst on speed. Just so we can keep up in races. It'll take a turn or more if I'm lucky. It will. But at the same time, it's a parent run. Holy crap. So we don't care that... Like, it's nice to get speed to 1100 because we're bumping up our chances of seeing a 3-star blue spark. It's nice to do the same thing for power. But we only really need to hit 600 in all of our stats and SS rating overall. And that's like 90% of our job done. We can just manage energy on wit here, even though it's not that impressive. It's fine. It's fine. And then we're at 351 stam for the Kikuka show. We're gonna need a recovery for that. So I think we just go ahead and buy Gourmand. Because Gourmand also means that we don't have to worry about the Spring Tenno. That isn't for parent run purposes, that's for surviving the career purposes. You know? I'd rather it be on speed, but it's alright on. I also think Ignited Power is now at 5 hints, so we could go ahead and grab that as well for a backup acceleration. Focus is actually not a bad White Spark either, as long as you're doing team trials specifically. Go ahead and give me that. Kikukusho should not be a problem. Yeah, we're fine. Just do normal runs and play for good sparks. I mean, you can do that, no problem. And in fact, that's how we got our Daiwa Scarlet in the first place, is just we did a normal run and the sparks were good. But I thought it would be fun to experiment around with a little bit of White Spark looping, because it's not really something that we've done before. And I think Special Week's new Inherit makes it very worth it. Okay, 7 lengths on the QE2. Well, I guess we don't get to choose. It's also a great time to get Etsuka's mood up. Top runner has no value for us. There's no rival, there's no buffed racer to worry about. That's true, but the downside, and I actually think this is a significant downside, you can't reroll G1s that you lose. So you're kind of stuck with the inheritance that you get, or the affinity that you get, if you drop a few random G1s here and there. Whereas in Trackblazer, if we're like, we came second, let's just go ahead and re-roll it. Guts is looking a little suspect here. Let's try and get that closer to 600. And then this obviously has to be a rest, as much as we'd like a Marvelous Sunday hint. Like, I think if you're purely going for maxing affinity, and you can do Trackblazer quickly, and you have the time, that you can still do parent runs in Trackblazer. Especially because there's stuff like, you know, Full Throttle and a bunch of other random new white skills that are exceptionally difficult to get your hands on, that you can basically only get from rival races in Trackblazer. That there are still reasons that you might want a parent farm over there. I think it's dead for ace runs, based on our experiences of trying to make a sprint air groove in there, but for parent runs, I think it's still very much alive. And will continue to be very much alive all the way through Grand Live. Which is nice, because I think Trackblazer is actually a fun scenario. I just don't always have the time to sit down and do a whole run of it. So we're not going to be able to come back and win the Mile Championship, because the Japan Cup is a goal race, but we can at least try and win the Yasuda Kinen this year. Double rainbow speed, sure. One thing I want to do is get URA Finale stamina skill into the loops. It's on our guest borrow, so I'm hoping that I can turn it into a white spark from here without actually having to go into URA Finale parent runs. But if we can't do that, yeah, then we would carry this parent into URA Finale. I don't really need to manage my energy yet. I can just take a wit training after this. We would go into URA Finale and do like a couple parent runs there to pick up Racing Spirit stamina and also whatever that mood skill is, because apparently the mood skill is also really good. There's directions that we could take it. Now I think we need to manage energy. So just take a wit training that builds Agnes Digital's spirit gauge up a bit. Yeah, Aspire is really good. There's some frontrunner skill that's like frontrunner acceleration late race. That's like really good. I forget what it's called, but that's another one that's basically Trackblazer exclusive. There's a bunch of stuff in Trackblazer that's very powerful. Second Chance? No, I thought Second Chance came off of cards. It's similar to Second Chance, though. Second Wind. It's similar to Second Wind, but I'm pretty sure you can get Second Wind on a bunch of cards. Like, Smart Falcon apparently gives Second Wind, as does the new Saiyan Wit card. So there's a few places you can get that. Eye on the Goal? That might have been it. It was something like that. I forget what it's called, because I saw it a couple days ago and forgot it. But yeah, there's some stuff that comes out of Trackblazer that's really good. But we'll see if we can build a foundation first. Like, the idea is for this special week to be, you know? That's 2 trainees to burst. Oh, this is Osaka High Day. What am I saying? Never mind. This is race day. This special week is going to be a grandparent, which means that if we do an actual parent run after this, like if we say, you know, there's a CM coming up where Taiki's unique looks really good. Then we take this special week as a grandparent. We go grab some other grandparent off of Uma.guide that looks good. And then we staple a Taiki on top. That Taiki we could then do in Trackblazer. And we could try and get some of those Trackblazer white sparks onto the Taiki specifically. It depends on how deep we want to go. We got Ignited Stamina again, by the way. Oh no, that's Ignited. That's not Racing Spirit Stamina. Never mind. But we did get Nimble Nav. Nimble Nav is fun. Eh. I actually don't hate this Guts training. I would like to try and get Guts to 600, just in the event that we spark Guts, because it's not horrible. It's obviously not like what I would choose to have a blue spark in, but it's not bad. I think seeing a Gut spark and seeing a Speed spark are like roughly equivalent for me at this point. Alright, so Racing Stamina is not going to get cheaper, and we do... Well, let's be careful with that. Let's not buy that before the Spring 10-0. So let's wait until after for that. We'll buy Ignited Stamina. Tail held high should trigger at this point. Groundwork's probably not getting cheaper except off of Marazinski. But we want to actually push her towards PTO or Slipstream because we don't have either of them yet. Homestretch Haste would be nice. Nimble Nav can't get cheaper. I guess we can grab its on. There's still a few skills in there that we want to grab, but it's okay. We have a lot of G1s left. We see Guts, we reroll unless it's Great Whites. Hey, that's the point, is we're just playing the odds, right? Like, you might as well get all your skills to 600, because if you see Great Whites, then, like, you might still keep a 2-star Guts. But if Guts isn't above 600, your odds of getting even a 2-star are a lot worse. 453 into 10 with Gourmand? Yeah, we're fine. You can get away with a lot with a gold recovery. Good. I forgot the other hint for it's on, you're right. I keep forgetting there's the second hit that comes out of S+ team rank. I have to rest here. Yeah, keep in mind that 18, and if the 18 prevents me from buying something, then we can mutually be sad about it. Beautiful. So that's Affinity. We could technically skip the Takarazuka Kinen for a great training. Those aren't going to be good enough. I don't need to see what else is going on. Just give me the skill points. Alright, looking really good. So we're not going to have Affinity from the Hanshin JF. We're not going to have Affinity from the Mile Championship. But at this rate, these are all mediums and longs, so we should be fine. We will have the Affinity from everything else. We're at 71, 9, and 7. That's actually pretty low for this point. But we should be alright. We have clocks. So even if we're not alright, we can reroll it a few times. We're fine. Agnes could do better. Takarazuka for Classic, Teo for Senior. Yeah, but it's a question of who your other grandparent is. Like, you don't automatically get Affinity just for winning a G1. You get Affinity for winning a G1 that your other parents won. So, if you're using an Agnes Digital parent, but your other parent isn't a dirt runner, you're not going to get the Affinity bonus from them. Because the non-dirt parent is not going to have won any dirt races. So if you're doing, like, Agnes Digital Ogre, yeah, you're going to go crazy on Affinity. But if you're doing, like, Agnes Digital Symboli Rudolph, I don't know about all that. Ooh. It's a spicy Guts training. I would take a 20% fail on that. It's a very spicy Guts training. So I think we rest early September here. And then we should be able to just train and race for the rest of the career. That's also a pretty spicy Guts training. Yeah, and if you fail, you only lose guts. And, well, you lose a stage of mood as well. I do want to be using bursts up here relatively soon. Because we're running out of time in this career. Tether is probably not good enough to take. Energy's fine. I probably just want to manage energy here instead of doing anything too reckless. Let's just take a whip training. It's a nice speed training, but I'd rather get the affinity for the Autumn Tenno. This should be SS at this point. I don't think it's going to be much higher, but I think we at least get SS rank with this. Make Homestretch Haste a little cheaper. I don't think we're going to have the budget for Homestretch Haste, honestly, so give me the stats. I just don't think I'm going to be able to afford that. I'd like to find an opportunity to use this burst up, and we did win the QE2 Cup already, so what does our skill point budget really look like right now? We definitely want Racing Spirit Stamina, so earmark this. We're at 464. We're going to need to buy Burn... We don't need to buy Burning Speed. We're still at 464. We're at 330. We're at 210. We're basically at 0, and we still need to buy Nimble Nav. And if we see PTO, we want to get it, and if we see Slipstream, we want to get it. I think I need to be racing. Racing Stamina isn't getting cheaper. We probably could buy it now that we have a gold. Like, the longest race we need to run from here on out is the Arima, and we're probably still going to have the stamina to finish it. But... finals give a lot of skill points. Yeah... you do. It'd be nice to win this gamble. That's a goal race. It doesn't have a gamble. Never mind. That's right. Yeah. Alright. I would like to see a Spirit Explosion on Wit, please. No. No? No. I think this is just a rest so we can do 3 turns in the finals. Yeah, speed should be 1100. I don't think power's going to... Power's obviously not going to get there. I think wit might get there. I need to hit a few guts trainings and I think I'm fine. Maybe 1 stamina training. Like 1 stamina training, 2 guts trainings, and we should get everything to 600. Stamina's going to be really close. We're at 500 now. We're going to get like 60 through the end of career goals. We only need to train it like 1 time. I want to see like 1 stamina, 1 power, 1 guts. And I think that's more or less ideal. And no speed and no wit. Good. Get all the extreme bursts on stamina? Not all of them. Uh-oh. I see nothing anywhere? That's not a great start. We can probably just take guts here. It's definitely better than stamina. Although, even if we do take guts, we're not going to get it to 600. Well, you might. That's quitter talk. What other options do we have? No. No. This is fine, because Maruzensky's here. We actually honestly should probably just chase Maruzinski trainings. She's going to be giving us so much training effectiveness now that all of our facilities are 5. And I don't think we can get to Gut 600 anyway. Okay. No, no, no. Yeah. No. So that's stamina to 600. Now I guess I can go anywhere. Just show me the last extreme burst so I can't fail the training. I don't care where it is. Just show me the last extreme burst. No extreme burst. You have to try. If you don't take that power training, you're a coward. Oh, okay, alright. Neat. Mile straights, unnecessary. So we didn't get Slipstream or PTO, which is a bit of a bummer. But if we see really good white sparks for everything else, then it could justify it. We'll see. I'd say that's pretty good for a first chance, for a first try, though. Will speed get there? It should. I wasn't worried about it until you mentioned it. Is it already there? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't even looking at it, honestly. It's not there. That's fine. We don't care that much about a speed spark anyway. Alright, give me corner adept focus. No stopping me. Gaming. Burning speed. What do I care about here? We could go get homestretch haste at this point. I think haste is just fine to have. We don't really have any interesting greens. I think wet conditions might be like situationally useful sometimes. Standard distance might be situationally useful sometimes. So front, pace, sprint, mile, medium. Hesitant late is a little situational. Moxie, no. Late corners, no. Lucky 7, no. Sympathy. You could go Glittering Star, I guess. It's not bad. No, it's pretty bad. Never mind. The more I look at it, the more I'm reminded it's bad. So at this point, we might want to think about specializing in a distance. We can go like late corners plus medium straights. And then the 18 skill points one really mattered. It wasn't going to be able to meaningfully change what we could buy anyway. We did not get the SS. We're actually quite a ways off of SS. The white sparks are okay. Well, let's see what else we can get. The white sparks don't scroll. So these are better sparks for blue and pink. But neither of these whites are good enough to keep. My Racing Spirit Stamina tail held high is nice here, but this doesn't do enough. I think it's more likely that this gets used for things, but we're running that one back regardless. And they're not good. We're probably not using either of those spark sets basically ever. So here's what I want to do. I want to inherit Mile. So we're going to pop over here, and we're going to say I want at least 4 Mile Sparks. And then get rid of PTO. And we'll worry less about that. That's 0 results. Really? Well, how about this then? That's still 0. How about get rid of Ignited Power? It's 37. Groundwork, Slipstream, Umastan, Ignited Power Plus, Racing Spirit Stamina, Nimble Nav, Ramp Up. Dirt? I don't know about dirt. Also, Maruzinski is not a generic parent. Digital's a fairly generic parent. Medium corners, pace straights, pace corners, Umastand, slipstream, groundwork. This one's interesting. Nimble nav, ramp up. That's an interesting digital. I think we could try that. The Beanie Merit having a slightly higher race bonus for parent runs, it would help. I think the breakpoint for Unity Cup is, what, 34? But it's a question of what we'd be giving up in order to get the higher race bonus. We can take a look. Let's give this digital a spin. Yeah, it's either 33 or 34. I'll try and aim for like 40 and see where we wind up. Is this Winter Mules? No, that's Zersts. Is this Winter Mules? That's zeros. That's Winter Mute, sorry. Yeah, we'll give this a try. It's a little specialized into Pace Chaser, but that's fine. And then what are we at for race bonus in this deck? Show me Maruzinski. No, show me a full uncapped Maruzinski. There we go. 10, 15, 20, 25. Nothing, but I think that Fujin being in the deck is like not. So we're at 25, and then King Halo's 30, I think? Now she also doesn't have race bonus. So 10, 15, 20, 25. I need a 10 race bonus card. And I think King Halo is probably the weakest card here. And then get rid of this filter. Oh, Enos has it in the perk? Okay, so we're at 30. I need a 5 race bonus card. 5 race bonus card that does something interesting from a hint perspective. I mean, Smart Falcon is groundwork, but we don't need groundwork. He also doesn't have race bonus at the uncaps we have her at. Haru doesn't do anything interesting for me from a hint perspective. This is Nimble Nav, but we don't need Nimble Nav. She gives nothing. That's pretty interesting. It is interesting. You've got me there. It is interesting. Can I search by skill in this filter? Skill activation conditions, but I can't search by skill name the same way I can filter a parent. Haru can give the new white skills, but only the ones with dirt, right? I thought she could only do the ones that were, like, for her aptitude. I guess I don't know what her Unity Cup hint pool is. Free to play SSR from the Valentine event? I don't remember which one it is. It's based on aptitude? Yeah, so she's just gonna give us, like, dirt stuff. Tosin Jordan? We could think about it. Oh, based on my aptitude. Okay, that's a lot better. Yeah, we could. So 2 guts, 2 speed, 2 wit. I don't think I need to put Tosin Jordan in the deck, because I don't need to run a 3rd speed card is the problem. So I'd have to give up Sweep Tosho to do that, and Sweep Tosho is one of our means of trying to get Slipstream. We could try this and see how it goes. Going another speed would help get to SS. Yeah, that's true. I can see where you're going with that. So you're saying we go like this. We don't really get anything interesting out of Chelsea and Jordan being here. Although I guess maybe there's an argument for making straightaway recovery a white spark, because if we need to buy breath of fresh air, that's pretty good. Other option is another wit card. Yeah. Does she not do anything interesting? No, it's just beeline burst countermeasure. That's not that interesting. I'd be willing to try this out, just because we might get some interesting stuff off of Haru. I think we're going to need to be really discerning with where we spend our trainings to have a chance of getting to SS, though. And I think if this doesn't put us at SS and 1100 speed, then we do just need to make that a speed card, or a wit card, just for a more consistent deck overall. So let's see how we do here. One, two, no, sure. Burn some energy off initially, and then we'll get it back with some wit trainings. Haru hint. So she can't give hints, because she has no skills. This is guaranteed to be guts, but it is friendship growth, and there's 3 people here. She can give hints through Unity Cup trainings, though, because she has a hint pool through that. And that's what you're talking about, where she gives hints based on aptitudes. So what, does she show me what her Unity Cup hint pool is? No, we're just going to be jump scared by them when they happen. Alright. I probably need to defer to this, because Fujin is a source of a lot of good hints for us. Speed Eater's not one of them. This is groundwork. You'll be able to see them from her team spot. No, she's nothing. She's gonna take her secrets to the grave. Sorry, that's in poor taste. She's dead. Sorry. Poor choice of words. Power 20 versus 40 skill points. I'm worried about SS rank here specifically, so I think we should take stats. I know it's a parent run and all, but we didn't really have a problem with our budget last time. This is 3 friends. This is 3 spirit trainings. Should probably just take this, the friendship. Because we do want to be hitting SS more consistently. A big upgrade to the quality of the white sparks that we get. And then here we just need to rest. One, 2, 1. 1 friendship, 2 friendship, 2 friendship. Work on Haru a bit. Holy crap. Okay, sure. It's everybody. One, 2 and 2 is looking pretty good right now. That's true. I should probably prioritize Unity trainings a little more because they can give hints every once in a while. Energy 10 seems great right now. 2, 3, 1, and then this is 2 friends. This is 2 friends. This is going to make it hard to train next turn, though. I think we should probably save energy a little bit here. Just because it's a parent run doesn't mean we, like, abandon the principles of energy management. Auction hint does not have value. This is 2 friends, 2 spirit trainings. That's better than everything else here. And then we're into debut. I haven't run his pace. Good. Fujin hint? Very important. Let her bulldoze at least once. Alright, next run, I'll let her bulldoze. I just didn't need the extra 5 energy. There's Speed Eater done. This is charming. Plenty early enough to take that. That seems fine. Yeah, let's use up a burst early and manage energy a little bit. Let's also switch over to agenda here. Focus is nice. Mood is nice. Load me my mile, medium, long G1. That's supposed to be the JF. And then save it here. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 1. One, 1, 2. But this saves energy, and it puts Psyche to burst, and Haru's friendship is low. So I'm fine with that. Speed 20 versus wit 20. Let's try and prioritize speed a bit. 2, 2, 1, 1. Sunday hint does have value, but let's try and make sure our spirit trainings are still rolling here. Steadfast, not useful to me. We're still in search of Slipstream and or PTO, although this puts Fusion to gold and burst, which I do like. This puts Marizensky to gold, but I think I'd rather take this Vit training. Continue conserving energy a bit. Guts 10 versus Stam 10. Let's start taking stamina to make sure that we can clear our long runs later in the career. Burst on Guts with nobody else there is not value. This is Sunday to burst and Marizensky to gold. This is Bakshin to burst and it works on 2 friendships though. There's probably an argument to be made that this stamina training is better because we're just hitting more friendships with it. And then that looks beautiful to me. We don't necessarily need these bursts on Wit, but it is a lot of energy back. Steadfast is done. Printing gear is not useful. One, 2, and 2 to gold. 1, 1, 0. Guts is fine here. It's also Sunday to burst. That's 1 relevant spirit training and 1 burst. And I think we're done. We're mostly done with friendships. It's just Sweep Tosho and Haru. I think I can afford to burst here and then just race twice. Let's use these bursts up early. Let's get our facilities leveled up, and then we'll have some strong training opportunities for later on. We are giving up basically nothing. Do I need to buy anything before the JF to smooth our odds over, though? No. We've gotten almost... Well, actually, focus is probably fine. avoid getting boned by a late start. When are we taking the 200 energy event? When Ogre's hungry. When you want to roleplay. Imagine what you could do with 200 energy. Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like you have 200 energy? I bet not. You wouldn't understand. All of these trainings look miserable. Let's just go around the hopeful stakes. Let's engage in maximizing our affinity. Excuse me? Is this possible? Alright, well, we're down 1, but that's fine. Not every single run can be undefeated. With that stat line, I thought there would be no problem whatsoever. 34 and 0 is fine. We're on a good pace here. Win both junior races? You're right, I forgot. I forgot the rules. New trainees. Energy, please. Not great. But then none of these look great. Actually, a Sunday hint looks pretty good right now. There's tail held high. I probably need to burst on a wit here or just rest. Yeah, that'll do. That works. That's more or less what we were looking for. B3 with 3. It's just a G3. It doesn't matter. And then let's see what our first inheritance has in store. 2, 1. This is Sweep Tosho to burst. And then we can take our next training safely. I guess that's fine. That's definitely fine. Auction hints don't matter. That's 2 spirit trainings. That's 1 spirit training. There's a part of me that says I'm actually supposed to take the power training here. Because it's more spirit training, and this training is deceptively bad. There's actually no spirit trainings here because Maruzensky burst already. Bakshin's friendship trainings aren't actually that good when she's not on Guts. Whereas this power training is a lot of spirit training growth for trainees that haven't burst yet. And I think it's just like more stats straight up. This is 27. This is like 30-ish. No, it's also 27. Yeah, we can just take power here. That's fine. What's up, Bobby? How's it going? That seems fine. We can just burst on speed here for a hint. This could be Slipstream. It's not, but it could have been. This could be Slipstream. Umastan. So not Slipstream, but Umastan is good. Because we can't get that from King Halo Power anymore. We're not running it. And then we're giving a pretty bad Guts Extreme Burst and a really good Wit Extreme Burst to run the Satsuki Show. But everybody is going to be having the Satsuki Show in their inheritance chains. So we are going to need to do it as well. I think that is a very difficult G1 to justify skipping for inheritance purposes. Just show me the wit training again. It's worse now, but we already know we're going to go into summer break on 0 energy. So I think this is fine. It would be nice to get Haru to burst and also some more friendship training, but... Unless they're Tiara. That's true. I feel like most of the other generic parents are going to be doing Crown, though. Like, if we wanted to get Rudolph's unique as a grandparent, that would be Crown. If we wanted to get Ogres, everybody's going to be doing Crown for that. I think Digital is probably Tiara. I don't think Digital has long aptitude, but I could see a world where people inherit long on Digital if they're affinity maxing. I think sticking with longs will be fine. Especially because you can win long races off the back of like long D. You really do not need a lot of long aptitude to win long races as long as you have the stam for it. Most of the NPC runners are gassed by the time you get to late race anyway. Getting long C is enough to run most long. I mean, on my friend who plays my friend's account got the Conquered the Long title because he was trying to farm the after repeated, or not the after repeated races, the No More Losing event on Taiki. And so he entered Taiki into the Spring Tenno with like 400 stamina and long E, and then she won. He got a nice title out of that. But he did not unlock his No More Losing achievement, unfortunately. Turns out sometimes you just like lock in. This is rough, but we can at least try and win both of these in Senior again. We get a second shot at those. That's not that bad. Also, we escaped after repeated races. We only lost one mood level there. 45 and 1 is basically unchanged from junior year, so we're not on a great trajectory right now, but there's a lot of time to change it. No More Losing's hard to get when you're trying to do any training. I've started using the gallery keys to unlock No More Losing and Slacker, because those are two events that I am never going to get under normal circumstances, and I don't like the idea of throwing away 30 TP and 40 minutes of my life to try and unlock them. This is a wit, or a rest, unfortunately, because that wit training is quite nice. Team rank to B. Okay, that's even better. We'll be taking that one instead. It's a shame that Marozensky's not here to give us 20% training effectiveness, but there's still a lot going on that with training. Oh, she is there. Never mind, she's chilling. She was there the whole time. The conditions for No More Losing are coming in 6th or worse in multiple races in a row. But it's random. So I've had runs where I've tried to unlock No More Losing, where I have lost like 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive races in a row, and it is not unlocked. But not just lost, like lost in 6th or worse. And then the other one that was actually an enormous struggle for No More Losing was Marozensky. Because Marozensky's lowest aptitude is D. Anywhere. So, like, the way that you'll typically try and do No More Losing is you're like, oh, I'll take Bakshin and I'll do nothing but run her on longs because she has no chance of running longs because she's, like, long G. It's impossible for Marozensky to consistently lose a race. You put her in dirt sprints, she's, like, dirt D, sprint B, she wins. You put her in longs, she's, like, turf A, long C, she wins. It's impossible to chain together losses for Marozensky. She's actually too good. I think I did like half a dozen Maruzinski No More Losing runs until I was like, screw this, man. I'm just gonna use a key on it. This is not possible. 1 in 5 on this whip training. I think I'd rather just rest. We've got this stretch of races coming up we're gonna need energy for anyway. And then this event chain we can end. Just give me my 30 skill points. No. Maybe, but I don't love it. This is fine for stats, but it doesn't actually build any of our spirit train. I guess this is fine. It saves our energy. I really don't like our stat line right now. I don't think we have any chance of getting to SS on this run, but we can at least still buy all of the relevant skills that we want and still get lucky. It's just worsening our odds a little bit. I do think that Haru just needs to be a 3rd speed card for consistency, though. I didn't check recoveries. Hopefully we're fine. We're 360. Let's run as late. Do I also have a non-free-to-play account? So the terms of service for the game say that you're only allowed to have 1 account, and then you can't have multiple accounts. What I do have is, a friend who I talk to a lot, and who I see basically every day, who has an account. And his account is not free-to-play, but he's also not a whale. He spent, like, maybe $50 or something like that. It's more so that he started playing like 2 weeks after the game came out. So he has like a ton of stuff on his account. Just by virtue of piling it up over time. He's also like way more handsome and popular and smart and talented than I am. Oh, that's a problem. We're not gonna get that one either this run. Yeah, I think we need to go with a 3-speed deck here. I think we're stretching ourselves a little too thin to try and assemble hints, and it's just costing us consistency on the run. How do I find time to run the free-to-play account and hang out with this friend of mine? I only do 1 run a day on this account. Like, everything that you see me do on stream or in a video, that's it. That's all we're doing. We're spending like an hour a day playing this, and then my friend is spending like an hour or 2 a day playing his, and that's enough for us mutually to accomplish all the things that we want to accomplish. I don't think there's a single CM where I've done more than like 10 ace runs on the YouTube account. But also my friend works from home. So that, like, also plays a part in it. Good. Besides a few extra side runs. Yeah. I will do a few in the background every once in a while to either, like, finish an event goal up, or just to, like, run a deck a second time, because I thought the RNG was bad. But, like, we can look at it. So, right now, in the Uma playlist on YouTube, there are 194 videos. We also have streamed, probably like 24 times at this point, and each of the streams is like 4 runs. So that is, let's just round and say like another 80 runs. So we have done a total of 300 career playthroughs. That more or less lines up. So it's 194 runs that have been on YouTube, and some of them we've doubled up on. So I'd say maybe like 210 of them have been recorded, and then we've done around 80 runs on stream, so that puts us at like 290. And then there have just been like another 10 that I've done in the background randomly for finishing goals and stuff like that. So that 301 is not that far off in terms of the pure number of runs that we've done for this particular video entertainment project. All of these trainings are horrible, by the way. I guess 2 spirit trainings isn't that bad. But then, like, this is also just core stats, and it still has 1 spirit training. I'm fine with that. Crazy it's been that many runs you've listened on the way to work. Hey, you're telling me, man. Every time I switch over to the Steam account that has this version of Uma, and I'm looking at the playtime, and I'm like, man, I've really done this for 510 hours. That feels like a lot of time. What the heck? Just fix mood now and get it out of the way. I don't hate that with the 10-0 coming up. Next CM is going to be interesting. It's a 2,000 meter dirt that's dead flat. Oh, baby. I already know what I'm going to run for that. I think there are a lot of people out there that do not know how stamina consumption on a downhill works. This is a rest, by the way. It's a medium, but the stamina consumption on a medium on a track that's flat is crazy. The stamina threshold is going to look way higher than people expect it to. It's been estimated to be 900. That sounds more or less correct. So I bet there's going to be a lot of people queuing into those CM lobbies, going like, oh, it's a 2,000 meter medium. That's on the shorter end of like what I need for team trials. I'm going to do like 750 in a white recovery, and they are going to get obliterated. I think that actually might be an opportunity to run a stamina debuffer, honestly. I wonder how easy it is to get nice nature onto dirt. If I was ever going to run a stamina debuffer, it would be on a 2,000 meter flat track. Ignited speed, right-handed, racing spirit mood. So we don't get PTO. Well, we might still see PTO. We might still see slipstream, but racing spirit mood is sick. So we can buy that. You're not getting any cheaper. With All My Soul is actually a really cool skill. I might try and turn that into a white spark, even though we're not necessarily aiming for mediums. Anything else in here I can get? Also use rear and front trick to make them rush longer. Yeah, I think that stamina debuffing sounds quite viable on a perfectly flat 2,000 meter track. That's going to be an interesting one to brainstorm. It's a huge speed training. I would be fine gambling on this. I think we need to catch up on stats at this point. We are way behind the curve from where we want to be. Recommending 1 ace, 2 debuffers with 564 mystifying murmur. I'm not going to go that deep, because 564 actually makes me feel like a scumbag. Like, if I'm not going to build a 564 debuffer ever. Ever in my life. It does not feel like a playstyle that's fun to me. And it's a playstyle that, like, if it was up to me, I would not have it exist. Like, if I was Cygames, I would probably just ban any runner that has 564 from participating in a CM. I think that should stay as Team Trials technology, but I can't do that, so I'm just not going to engage with it. Like, I'm not going to build a 564 race. I don't think it's that fun. Does this free-to-play account have nice parents? No. Not at all. The best parent that we have is the Daiwa Scarlet. Well, actually, you know what? That's a lie. We have 2. We have exactly 2 good parents, and then we have, like, 24 serviceable parents. So, parent number 1 is the one that we're currently using in this special week run. 3 speed, 3 medium, 3 resplendent red ace, and then 2-star Umastan, which is fine. And then the second one is, like, it's not good, but it's interesting, is 2 Stam, 2 Turf, 2 Victoria Por Plancha, and then, like, the most white sparks I've ever seen on any trainee in my entire life. But these are really the only two good, like capital G, good parents that we have. And that's basically it. Everything else is varying shades of, like, we don't feel bad about using it, but it's not great. This is Victoria Mile Day. I can't take a training this turn. Does this account have a stamina parent? Not one that I've made intentionally, but we probably have stamina sparks laying around somewhere. Amazing Gourmand for playing late surger? Oh yeah, I should probably fix that. We ran late for like one race to conserve stamina, and then I never changed it back. I'm surprised that we managed to win the Spring Tenno, but I completely forgot about that. You're right. This is PTO Slipstream Chance, so we need to take that. Nady's Dirt G? Alright, that's probably off the table then. What did I get for hints there? Oh, I got PTO! Okay, let's go buy that. That is one big white spark cleared. Snag it. And then who's my favorite Uma? We've talked about it a couple times. I don't come from, like, a background of playing gacha games. I actually don't even come from, like, a background of anime culture. So, I'm not in on Oshi meta. What I'm in on is a lot of the games that I play when I'm not playing Uma are, like, RimWorld, Dwarf Fortress, like Star Deus, these games that have, like, emergent narrative in them. And so, the mindset that I have for thinking about who my favorite runner is, like who my Oshi is in Uma, is that I need them to tell me what they do. And then I decide if they are my favorite or not. So right now, our Oshi for this account, our favorite for this account is Tamamo Cross, because she's the only runner that we have that's won 2 CMs. But Air Groove is very close to becoming an Oshi, depending on how she does in the current CM. Because I did not build her with any kind of idea of, like, I thought she was going to be good. She was, like, my third filler runner for our Leo CM roster, and she has been demolishing lobbies. So she's telling me who she is. I was like, I know how to build a decent late surger. I'm going to put together a late surger air groove. I don't expect it to be good. I don't really expect it to be competitive, but there's like a principle here, and let's see if we can execute on the principle. And then she's turned out to be, yeah, she's an engine of destruction. She crushes dreams. She beats Taiki when Taiki hits her ults. So I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I'm paying attention now. You're telling me what you're all about, and I'm nodding and I'm listening along. Yeah, Oshi is like your favorite. As far as I understand it, it is like an idol culture term. Where you have like a favorite pop idol or like a favorite VTuber or something like that, and you're like, this is my Oshi. But it's favorite. In my book, it's favorite. It's a little late for you, but you are a neat training. I don't know that I can take you at this point. I think I just preserve energy here because this puts Rice to burst. So we'd still like to find Slipstream if we can, but we have a few turns here where we could still see an Ines Fujin hint. We got Umastan, we got Groundwork. We're going to get to 600 power, we're going to get to 600 stamina. We're probably not going to get to 600 guts. I also never switched back to Pace Chaser, so we should probably just go ahead and do that now. Hey, these are fine with trainings to just keep hitting. They're nice and efficient, and they're saving us energy. We already have focus, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and race. You don't even have special week on your account. Did I get her from a selector? I didn't get her from a selector. I'd actually have to go back and check the video. You could also find out for yourself by skimming through the Uma playlist. So we picked Taiki with our selector. When we started, we took Taiki because I wanted somebody who could run dirts, because it was just going to simplify my life in team trials in the early game. I want to say that we got Special Week from the 3-star Training the Trainer mission. Like the 3-star that you get for doing the welcome missions. I think that's where Special Week came from. I don't think we got her in a gacha pull. I think she was off the ticket from the starter missions, but it was 7 months ago at this point. I don't actually remember. We ran her in 1 CM so far, and she did okay, but she did not win. So she's on my radar, but she is not Oshi status for me. She hasn't done enough. She hasn't proven herself. She can, but she hasn't had the opportunity yet. Yeah, now that she's buffed, she's going to be showing up a lot more. I think any CM where Pacer late looks viable, Special Week is going to be like the first thing I'm thinking of. Especially because I can't run Tamamo anymore. Because she's in retirement now. Because before it was like, oh, this looks like an end closer track. Where's my Tamamo cross? Where did I put her? But yeah, she's on the ban list now because she's won 2 CMs. So we're not allowed to use her anymore. Which is also, if this is one of your first times catching one of the Uma streams that I do, as like a fun restriction for us to keep ourselves from just like slamming the same runner over and over and over and over again in every CM. If we win a CM with the same runner twice, they are banned, and we can no longer use them in CMs. So right now that is Tamamo Cross on the ban list because she's won 2. Satono Diamond has won 1, and Gold Ship has maybe won 1, depending on whether you count Open League as counting or not. We won our first CM with Gold Ship, but it was Open League and not Graded League. So I'm not sure if that one actually counts or not. We can figure it out if she ever wins another one. Ideally, tomorrow we get to add somebody to the roster of winners as well. Nothing's guaranteed, but a 70% win rate. This is maybe Slipstream, by the way. A 70% win rate in a CM is very good. Prudent positioning? Not quite. Extra it's on hint. Sure. Never won any CMs and you bought carrots. I mean, it's not necessarily about how much you spend. CMs are a little bit of luck. And there's a little bit of... If I take this with training, I can do anything I want next turn. So let's just pass one turn. It's a little bit of luck, and it's a little bit of, like, having good resources available, but a lot of CMs is, like, knowing how to build. Understanding how to make a runner that succeeds on a very specific track and in a very specific lobby. And having an understanding of that, I think, is probably more valuable than just, like, spending money necessarily. This gets well, actually, we're at 600 around everywhere. So this is a Rice Shower Burst, but I don't actually care about any of her skills. Maybe Highlander is, like... It's super niche. But it could be good. This training doesn't matter, because it doesn't push any of our attributes to 1100. So it's not going to change anything. I think I'd just take this power training to try and get Highlander. Highlander's really rare. Ah, well, we tried. It's super niche, but it's a very rare skill. You want Highlander? How about Disorient? How about neither? How about she tried to punch the bricks and broke her hand instead? That's a reroll. Is the CM restriction also going to include dirt runners? Yes, absolutely. It wouldn't be a fair restriction if it didn't. Is this like an unnaturally long race? No, it's just a 2000 and we have low stats. There we go. There we go. This might not even be S+, this might just be S. Our stats are very low. I think we have enough access to dirt runners. The medium is going to be tricky to work with because Haru can't do mediums. But we've got Digital, we've got L, we have Taiki, we have Mayano, we have Fuku. I mean, that's 5 to work with out of the gate that can go directly to Dirt A at the start of a career. I think we'll be fine. It's on. No stopping me. We got Burning Wit that run? That's awkward. We can take Ignited Power. We can take With All My Soul. It's good. We can take Tail Held High, Groundwork, Umastan. We already bought Gorman, so like Pace Corners isn't a horrible idea. Homestretch Haste is fine. Standard Distance is situational. Wet Conditions is situational. I guess we might as well get Ignited Wit. I don't care that much about Burning Wit, though. We could try and snag Ignited Stamina, maybe. There's not a lot else here that's amazing. Hesitant Front is actually probably better than Ignited Wit. I think there's more situations where Hesitant Front is probably something good to have. And then, sure, with our last skill points, we can just get, like, Kyoto Racecourse. I don't love the way that felt. I think Haru needs to go. I think that just needs to be a 3rd speed guard. Is there any way to unretire an Uma that retired, or is it once they're gone for good? Are you talking about, like, at the end of a career run, or are you talking about our specific practice of retiring runners after they win 2 CMs? Because if you're talking about just like a veteran runner, like this special week, no, we cannot unretire her now that this is done. My CM rule? No. Once they've won twice, that's it. They're out. This is... It's okay. I mean, it's usable. So it's Nimble Nav, Homestretch Chase, Tail Held High, Ignited Stamina, Focus. And it's 3-2-2. It's not like really any of the white skills that we wanted, and it's also 1 star, which is pretty rough, but I don't mind having more long parents. Because I don't think I have a ton of those right now. This is fine. It's not as good as I was hoping to get out of farming, but it's good enough to stamp. What's the rest of the tree like? It's long, medium, mile? Okay, well, that's a little awkward. But I think we'll find opportunities to use that. Does my friend also stream and or YouTube? That account? No. Not yet, anyway. Maybe in the future, but currently not right now. Alright. I want to do one more with Special Week. With this parent set. But I want to try and run a deck that's a little more normal. I think we get rid of Haru. And we run a speed card. Also, reset these filters. What do we care about here? We could run Asian Flash if we wanted to try and spec into Late Surger. We get late straights, late corners out of that, and then we also get homestretch haste hints, which we already have, but it would make it a little cheaper. I don't think we have a lot of other great options, honestly. Kawakami Princess's skills are horrendous. We can skip that. Why not a wit card? We might think about a wit card. I'm just looking at speed cards first to see if I have anything that really jumps out at me. Like, Asian would be fine. Vodka's also interesting to think about. That Slick Surge, Homestretch Haste, medium straights. Mile Corner's not really. Nimble Nav we're already getting for free, but that's good outside of Unity Cup. If we wanted to go more pace-oriented, there's also Tosin Jordan. Medium corners, medium straights, pace straights. So a few interesting speed cards. If we go over to Wit, though, Fine Motion is Nimble Nav left-handed. What does Rice Shower do? Straight Descent, Pace Corners, Feature Act? I don't know about Feature Act. Here's actually what I want to know. Where do I get Highlander? Like, does anybody give guaranteed Highlander? Support card hints? Nobody gives guaranteed Highlander. Okay. Huh. And most of the cards that give it are really bad. Like, you never want to be using Gold Chip Stam. You normally don't want to be using Rice Stam. Rice Power is fine. Under no circumstances. This card just came out, so nobody's going to have it. And then, like, Manhattan Cafe Stam is okay. Huh. I don't know that I would really want to focus on Highlander. Unless I knew that there was a CM track coming up where it's good. I do like the idea of Fuku, like you were saying, Grenster. Light Surge or Corners is fine. The skills leave a lot to be desired, but guaranteed right-handed is pretty nice. There's also Tachyon, which is medium straights, medium corners, if we wanted to try and go for medium specifically. There's also Arden, if we wanted to go Pace Chaser. Pace Savvy, Pace Corners, preferred position left-handed. And she also has decent events, like Hesitant Pace is fun too. Arden could also be interesting. So we could go Asian Flash for speed. I think it's like Asian Flash for speed, and then Fuku or Arden for wit. I like the idea of Fuku just for scenario link, honestly. So what does this put us at for race bonus? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's right, Fuku doesn't have race bonus. Dober's got... Dober has 5. Arden has none. So Dober puts us at 35, which is an extra set of stats and skill points per race. Late Savvy up-tempo is decent. And yeah, Tachyon's got 10. We do get Slick Surge out of this. I don't hate the idea of a Dober. Let's try this and see how we look. And then after this, I might do 1 or 2 on digital. Because digital is going to make it much more likely that we hit Umamusume specifically as a White Spark. Which I think is like one of our main success criteria here. 2, 1, 1, 1. Sure. Burn some initial energy. Show me a wit training next turn. 1, 0, 3. Alright, fine. You've convinced me. Tachyon does have 10 at full uncaps, but we only need to get above 34 for Unity Cup. That's basically the only meaningful breakpoint that exists in the entire scenario. Because I think the next breakpoint is like 68. So as long as you can get above 34, you're fine. And adding more doesn't really matter that much. This is groundwork. That's just like a great training. We could get hints from any of these randomly off of Unity Cup and we'd be fine. We see nothing. That's very sad. Sunday hint does have value. And I don't really see a lot else going on here, so let's grab a wit. Ilho has good. Would Wedding Mayano be a good debuffer for the next CM? I don't have Wedding Mayano, so I don't actually immediately know what she does. But I'd have to imagine that anybody who has a stamina debuff is probably going to be a pretty serviceable debuffer for the CM. 1 spirit training, 1 spirit training, 2 spirit training, 1 spirit training. I think I just want to conserve energy here. All these trainings are kind of stinky. Waiting to see Dober and Marzensky on summer training. They're going to go off as soon as these facilities get to 5. 3, 2, 1, 1. We can take Guts here. She has Mystifying Murmur. Yeah, I think she's serviceable then. If she's got the same aptitudes as normal Mayano, she's like Dirt D or something like that, so you can get her to Dirt A fairly easily. That's decent for conserving energy right now, so let's go with that. I don't love the fail rate on these. I think I just wreck here. Dirt E? Okay, so you need 3 more Dirt Sparks, but you can still get her to Dirt A. When the run starts. We already have Homestretch Haste unlocked, so let's take Corner Adept here. And then we also need to see a wit training here. I was hoping to get a little energy back from recreating. Ah, never mind, that's fine. That works out. Now we can go back to training as normal. Ooh, Summer Runner is nice. That's a very annoying skill to get your hands on. Probably should have switched to pace. But that's fine. We can find another point to win a debut. That's not catastrophic. It's just going to cost us 1 training. We can't load agenda yet until we win our debut. 2 spirit training, 1, 3, 1. There's a part of me that wants to conserve energy here. But this puts Sunday to burst, and this doesn't put anybody to burst, and Marzensky already burst already. So let's go a little greedy on energy. We're going to be looking for a wit training next turn here. Sure. I don't love it. But I also don't love 18% to fail on speed. If we take this speed training and fail it, we're like catastrophically behind in this run because we still need to win our maiden. And we've thrown a training away, and we're going to need to rest. Like, there's too much stuff that piles up that has to be done. Can I run a maiden today? I can. Let's go ahead and do pace. Yeah, if bad turn can debut. Yeah, we'll just debut that turn, and then it would be really nice to win the energy gamble here. Ah, never mind. We don't get the choice. So we probably have to rest this turn. Which is fine, because the rest of these trainings don't look great. 30 is unfortunate, but we can live with it. And now we can also load our agenda. Show me medium mile long. Burst on wit is nice. Potential slipstream there as well. Let's go with that. Okay. Speed 10, stam 10. Our speed is okay right now. Or our stam is okay right now. Give me the speed. Learn near the end of track plays that when you don't get an energy gamble choice, Etsuko always gives a mood up. I think Etsuko just gives a mood up all the time. I've never seen Etsuko not give me a mood up. Spirit training for wit. Burst on power is looking okay, but that's a lot of spirit training on stamina. Our power is actually like really low. We should probably take this burst. There's playtime's over. Okay. Let's buy that now so that we don't get it out of Marazinski or Ines Fujin going forwards. Get that thing out of the drop table because I don't want to get that 5th hint. It's only going to be 5% discount. 2, 1, 2, and 3 friends. 1. This can be guts. It also pushes Sweep Dasho and Sunday to gold. Alright, Tail Held High is done now. 1, 1. You could be Slipstream, but I'm not taking a 37% to fail. We'll rest, and then we'll train twice, and then we'll race twice. Focus is nice. 2 spirit trainings on wit, 2 spirit trainings on power. We don't need the energy preservation right now. So give me the power to work on Dober's friendship, and that's also an extra burst. Tail Held High at 30% is good enough. Yeah, we could have got it, but now it's like fully discounted, so we can absolutely buy it. I just don't need to yet, because we don't have enough other skills that can actually activate Tail Held High. But yeah, we could have bought it at 3. I just wasn't thinking. We currently have no way to activate it, though. Like, we could buy PTO, we could buy Adept, which is expensive, and it still wouldn't fire. So we can wait on it a little bit. 1 spirit training, 2 spirit training. Burst on Stam. I don't really want to spend a burst on Stam. Let's just go full energy mode. And then we'll see if, I guess +4 max energy is fine here. We'll see if PTO alone is enough to carry us through the JF. Kinda sucks to leave that wit training behind, but we need to be thinking about our potential affinity here. Okay. Hello, Etsuko. Unyielding Spirit is mile only. I don't want to get that specialized. I'll just take 45 skill points instead, if you don't mind. It's a nice speed training. But I'd rather try and win a race. Can we win both of the junior year G1s? Yes, okay. Good start. Good start so far. I have significant concerns about our power right now, and I think that's where I need to allocate a lot of the extreme bursts that we're going to have, but we are off and running. We're so low on spirit trainings. This run, I don't know how we've managed to win both of the junior year G1s on this run, when both of the previous runners have been, like, substantially stronger by this point in the career. Like, way stronger than this one is. But that's Uma, baby. I'll take 20 energy. You know, an extreme burst on speed is almost the same thing as an extreme burst on power when you think about it. Have I done all the new Dirt G1s? No, that's what I was gonna do today. But I think we'll push it to next week's stream. Is to finish the trophy case for all the new Dirt G1s. Because the Tachyon and Hello banner should be live at this point, so we may actually need those carrots. We also need to get back to our project of, it's an interesting guts training. Ah, never mind, that whip training is a lot better. We also need to finish our project of winning every race on Tamamo. Now that Tamamo has been CM retired, we wanted to unlock the completionist title for her, which means we're going to have to win all of those new Dirt G ones, which is going to be brutal. But that's also on the list of stuff to work on for stream. And it would be nice if we could dovetail that. Hiroshi has Dirt G, Mild D, so you're not getting completionist anytime soon? You'd be surprised. So I have been... Sorry, my friend has been doing completionist titles for fun, because they don't really, like, take a lot of thought, and you can just have them on in the background when you're doing other stuff. He has managed to finish the completion title for... Alright, we'll go Bulldozer mode, just because it was requested. He's managed to finish the completion title for Asian Flash, who is Dirt G Sprint G, and that was not a fun time. But that said, if you want to minimize the amount of pain that you experience, Track Blazer, because you can alarm clock every single race loss. I think I'd rather get Dober to gold here than Infirmary right now. Hunter Dead runs into Let's Make Completionist progress. You can do that, but for, like, the junior year G1s, it's a little complicated, especially now that there's a junior year mild dirt. You have to know that your run is busted super early to go and try to work on that thing. Good. Alright, we've undone the damage from Bulldozer. Gold Inspiration, so a 3-star spark is triggered somewhere. Ramp up Unity Cup Medium, Racing Spirit Stamina. I like a lot of that. We're missing linchpin skills like Umastan and Slipstream and Playtime's over, but that's a decent inheritance. Maybe we should buy a few skills for this. It's looking a little scary. Racing Spirit Stamina, I think, might do too much damage to us, so let's skip that for now. Could get Hesitant Front. Could get Ramp Up. This actually takes it out of Marvelous Sunday's hint pool, so it pushes her towards Straightaway Adept, which I would also like to get my hands on. And then that's 2 skills that we can activate in mid-race. Ignited Speed can absolutely get cheaper. I don't think I have any other good mid-race that I could buy to potentially activate Tail held high. We could get a Corner Wreck, but I don't think it's necessary right now because we're at 330 already. I don't even know if I'm going to get Corner Wreck before the end of this run. We'll see how we're looking for the Kikukusho on that one, I think. But for now, I think we can just go as is. Okay, good. Four spirit trainings, putting 2 characters to burst, and also works on Bakshin's friendship. It's going to be hard to have a better training than that with. Strategist, not useful. Yeah, the stamina's fine. I'm not going to buy stamina skills until it looks like a problem. This would be a really nice wit to take. Unfortunately, we have to go gaming today. I'm really scared of the NHK Mile Cup on sub 300 power. But, yeah, I was right to be concerned. That's a really low power line to be trying to win a mile. Even with her unique, it's going to make it complicated. That's fine. Not every run can be a perfect run. Or at least nailing the Triple Crown. And then the Yasuda and Takarazuka, even if we lose them, we get another chance in senior year. Passing up. An admittedly very nice wit training. But I'd rather try and win the Yasuda now, so that we have some flexibility in senior year. Good. Not good, but like good, because now I have a second chance to win it in senior. That's fine. Early lead is not necessary for the kind of parent we're building here. And then here we have medium S. We should be... God, it's another good with training. We have medium S. We can win the Takarazuka in senior year pretty comfortably. Let's just take a wit training and avoid getting after repeated races. We don't have to go super crazy with it, especially because the last couple runs, we've actually kind of run out of skills to buy. It's got full tilt on my run. What the heck is full tilt? I have no idea what full tilt is. I love when skills are added, but you have no idea where they came from. A full tilt is homestretch haste, but it's dirt. That's it. It's homestretch haste, but dirt. Good. A little tighter than I'd like, but good. And now we have decent energy budget for summer training. I wouldn't mind going like train, rest, train, train, but we'll see how trainings actually play out. No, no. I'd rather not. Also no. Maybe we just rest now to fix mood and then we train 3 turns in a row. We waste 6 energy doing that, but those trainings were not good. First on Stam, first on Guts, auction on Power. I don't mind this stamina training. We do want to think about the Kikukusho and the Spring Tenno, and it puts Haru to burst, and Maru Zensky's here, and Dober's here. So this is that training that you were talking about, Grenster, I think it was you, where we're getting juiced with like 15% training effectiveness, 30% mood effect, 30% mood effect, and then 20% training effectiveness. We're getting an immense amount of stats out of this training just from the 2 of them because they have so much TE and mood effect. Eh. Save me the energy. Ignited Wit I don't really care about. Definitely give me power at this point. I know we need power, but it's so hard to turn down a summer training that Maruzensky is at. Like, this is a level 5 Guts facility with a ton of mood effect here, and with a decent amount of training effect here. It's really hard to say no to that. We'll find some opportunities to train power later. Interesting speed training. We do still need to work on Bakshin's friendship a bit, and this puts her to burst. Yeah, I like that, actually. Don't need Top Runner, but at least Maruzensky's chain is done. That's also a pretty good speed training. It tanks our energy for everything that comes after it, though. But it uses up Haru's burst. No, I think this spends too much energy. We take Wit here, and then we train early October, and then we can do 3 in a row. Otherwise, we take that speed training, and then we have to rest early October. We at least get 2 trainings out of this. And then if this drains us to 0 energy, that's fine. Ina's Fujin hint is very attractive, though. We bought Playtime's over, so this could be our slipstream, and Speed Eater's already at 5 hints. The power from Mile Championship. I've given up on it. Oh. We're gonna find Slipstream one of these days, man. We're good on stam here, right? 410. 410 and it's a dry Kikuku shell. Yeah, we're probably fine. We can run late just to be safe. Just in case we rush or something. Yeah, there we go. I honestly, with how bad the power situation is, I'm thinking about the first run we did with King Halo in the deck. And I'm wondering if we just go back to King Halo power. I actually think that was the best run we've had so far in terms of the end skill balance. Burst on Wit, Burst on Power versus QE2 Cup. I'd rather take QE2 Cup, I think. And we can go back to pace here. Stamina's not a concern. Good. Very good. Definitely need the power at this point. Giving up a Burst on Wit, a Rainbow Speed, auction to gold finally. But we don't have the opportunity to do this one in senior year, so let's take it. And then we'll cross our fingers. We shouldn't win this with the power we have, but I guess it's good enough. I can only assume that her unique did some serious work there. And then we're looking for a Wit early December, probably. That'll do. And then we're going to have to find an opportunity to fix skin condition here at some point as well. Definitely going to need to find an opportunity to fix that. We're doing okay here. The only G1 that we've lost and can't get back is the NHK Mile Cup. Everything else we've either won outright or we have the opportunity to win it in senior. We still need to manifest a lot of the white skills that we want to see. But we have time to do that still. 51-7 and 3 also feels a little low. I think we've also infirmaried twice this run, which is probably not super helpful. Well, we've infirmaried once. We're going to infirmary twice. Because I need to get rid of skin condition. I guess we could gamble on a recreation into shrine success, but we can live with it until the next G1. I mean, we can, but it's not going anywhere. Skin condition can't clear itself. You have to clear it. Ines Fujin hint. Greater than sign. Scramble? What the hell is scramble? Hold on. Some random dirt skill? Scramble. Holy crap, it's an acceleration skill? Moderately expend endurance to slightly increase acceleration when positioned mid-pack or further back in the... Oh, it's in the last spurt? That seems awful. No, wait, but it's phase late race. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Take me to the track browser. Show me, like, any random long. There's probably one in Tokyo. There's probably one in Hakodate. Sure, 2600 will do. Scramble. Where do you activate? Oh, you... Okay, so... There's last spurt, the section of the racetrack, but then there's also last spurt, like, the energy mechanic. So this actually seems really good. As long as you don't need the HP. Because minus 2% is meaningful. So when it says position mid-pack or further back in the last spurt, it's talking about your trainee entering last spurt. Which is where your trainee's like, okay, I know I have enough energy to finish this race. I'm going to start accelerating. As long as they have the energy, Scramble seems really good. That looks really good. I would buy that at the end of this run. That would be a really, really nice White Spark. Burst on Guts is kind of whatever. This Wit training is okay. I think I just need to get rid of Skin Condition, though. Oh, but I have Raffle next turn. That's right. I want to wait one more turn to see what happens in Raffle. In that case, just give me the Wit training to conserve energy. Yeah, that's a sick skill. I would love to turn that into a White Spark. Okay, now I need to, well, God, if we're at awful already, maybe I should just wreck. It's not Shrine, but at least we fix mood a little bit. Tokyo's probably fine here, but I don't think that choice matters that much. We have so many problems right now. I need to get rid of Skin Condition. That's the biggest priority. So let's just Infirmary. Good. And now I need to find a way to fix mood. Which the Osaka High could do, because it's a non-gold G1, so we could see Etsuko. Also, all of these look awful. I'm gonna race this turn. Yeah, exactly, winner. Because we could see Etsuko off of these even though they're not G1s, and it's still skill points. We only need to see Etsuko like one time for it to be good. No Etsuko yet, but we could still see her after the Osaka High. Wit 15 versus Guts 15. Take the Guts to get to 600. And then we go Osaka High. I'm not even looking at what the training is because it doesn't matter. Good. Etsuko? No. You're not Etsuko. I do get the one mood for the skill upgrade, but I need to find my way back to Great before summer break. Medium to S again. No skill hits. That's rough. So like we're normal now, and that's fine, but I need to find my way all the way back to Great. I don't really want to burst on Guts, but I don't like any of these trainings, and I can't race this turn. So I guess we just consume the Guts burst. I guess we could have recreated that turn too, now that I think about it, but... It's alright, we need to recreate late May. This is brutal. We also probably want to run this as late, just to be on the safe side. We're chilling. Oh yeah, neck. Holy crap, that was closer than I thought it would be. But a win is a win. Not better than a G1. This could be Etsuko. Etsuko could be down any of these tunnels. Assuming we win, but at least we're doing that. Still no Etsuko. She hates us. Doesn't want anything to do with us, man. So, we have there's a few paths available to us. First of all, we're running 2 races early June and late June. Statistically, I think we can say that we'll see Etsuko in one of them, because I think she's like 1 in 4, but we've done 3 races in a row without seeing her, which means we're due. We could rest here to go to full energy, but that doesn't fix our mood. Which means we're still going to be going into summer break at bad to normal mood. We could take this wit training, but functionally it's the same thing as a rest, except it just gives us some wit stats instead. If we recreate, and we hit karaoke, and we get claw game, we go to great mood, but after 2 races we would still need to rest in summer break anyway. If we hit any recreation that isn't karaoke in the crane game, then we will be at normal to good mood, and we can rest at the start of summer break after losing energy to these races, and we can go to great. So I think that means that recreation is probably our best choice here because it gives us the best odds of starting summer break at good or great mood. That's fine. And now we probably wait for Etsuko out of either of these to go to good. And then we recreate in summer break to go to great. Probably should have switched to pace. That I think about it. So that's one where we're not going to be able to see Etsuko. And it also means we're not going to get the affinity from that G1. But that's fine. Switch to pace. Don't let these randoms in front of you block you. There we go. Also, no Etsuko. But we're down on energy anyway, so we're going to rest no matter what. Like, there was no way that we could fix losing 20 to 30 energy on average from those races. So, the idea of resting for one turn in summer break was more or less baked in. But if we didn't recreate late in May, it would mean that we'd only be at good going into summer break, which is a lot of stats to sacrifice. Like, I think the difference between good and great is not that high. The difference between normal and great is really bad. So this at least puts us to good. And we're okay skipping those. Sure, sure. Sure for energy purposes, and also because Maruzenski's here, but I really want to direct some extreme bursts to power. United Guts. You know, that's okay. It kind of builds our power. If you don't look at it too closely. It still kind of builds your power if you don't look at it too closely. Let's use these bursts up, though. Otherwise, we're never going to get the hints out of them. So we're forced into resting here early September, and then after this, we really need to prioritize power above everything else. No, man. You need to prioritize power. Your Guts is going to get to 600. Just stop training it and let the extreme burst show up on power instead. Single rainbow that conserves energy and has meaningful spirit trainings. Biko might still burst this run. So I think we can justify that. Stam 20 versus Guts 20. Stamina no longer needs the help, so we can just take Guts. It's not great. It's also not great. This puts Rice Shower to burst, which actually does something, and it's Bokshin on a non-Guts training. So we're getting extra training effectiveness out of that. I think this is a power training that contributes to us getting to 600 power at the end of the run. So let's take it. And then I'd really like to see Etsuko from some of these scheduled races, maybe. I miss my reporter friend. No reporter friend. Good time to win a gamble, though. It's not an extreme burst on power. I don't feel incentivized to take it. Good. It's also a nice time to win the gamble. But we still haven't seen Etsuko. So now I'm like, we might need to rest early December. The odds of Etsuko showing up are somewhere around 1 in 4. I've never found the specific table for it, so I did like... I tracked some data over a couple careers and just wrote it down in like a Google sheet. It's around 1 in 4, I think. For the data that I collected on it, which was not a huge sample size, but was decently sized. Wit 20 versus speed 20? Definitely speed. Can I show Team Trials roster when run us over? Yeah, absolutely. So this is Rec, and we'd really like to see Crane Game here. It's fine. We at least get some mood up. Go win the Arima. We're going to need to train Wit at least one time, possibly twice. $74, 9, and 6. That's just not a good run. But we kind of knew that. We infirmaried twice this run. We had slow metabolism and skin condition. We knew that it wasn't great. Good enough. I think we can still get power to 600 too. We just need to extreme burst on it like one time. That's actually a really neat speed training. Okay, we also lost debut. I'd forgotten about that. This is also interesting though, because this could be groundwork or slipstream. The question is, can I get to 600 power if I take this Wit training? And I think I can, because we've still got an extreme burst lurking somewhere. And we could also just randomly have trainees come here, and we know we need to take a Wit training at some point anyway. Imagine if we hit slipstream though. Oh! Okay. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm fine. I'm alright. You guys alright? I'm alright. The power could still get cheaper. Get this off my drop table. Oh, we got groundwork. Yeah, because we've got auction. Okay, never mind, we're good. Hold on, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. This could be the run. Now imagine if we hit like PTO, Slipstream, Groundwork, Umastan, Ignited Power, White Sparks. Oh baby. I think this power training is good enough to get us there, and we still have an extreme burst somewhere lurking in the support card. So let's grab this, because I think that pushes us to 6. You think the 45 skill point event hit for Dober? I don't remember. I think so, but the runs are starting to bleed together. I don't remember if it was this run or last run, but I looked at it and I was like, I don't need Unyielding Spirit. Just give me 45 skill points. Wait, we weren't using Dober last run, so it was this run. 34 to fail, burst on Rice Shower. Again, I'm compelled to take this because it could be Highlander, even though it's 1 in 3 to fail. Just alright, but well, no, wait, that wasn't her. Straight Descent, okay, that's fine. Straight Descent still has like a few niche applications, though. That's a clock. Don't you dare. Not now. Not after we've come so far. Uh-oh. We're getting closer. How long are you? It's only a 2200. It's not a stamina issue. I think it's just a stats issue. We might still hit 600 power. It's obviously not ideal. We got 600 power. It's fine. It doesn't matter. We're still live for the Unity Cup Spark. So ignited power, ignited speed, scramble. We're fine. It's fine. It's okay. Don't cry. Resident front is fine. Homestretch haste is fine. No stopping me. It's on. Focus. Recovery. Adept. Sunny days. Summer runner. Standard distance. I don't care about ignited wit. Ignited guts is so situational. Like, it's not bad. It's just if you haven't actually trained guts, it's not good. But what would I want instead of it? I think straight descent is probably too situational. Speed Eater's way too situational. Steadfast just isn't great. It's better, but it still isn't great. We could go like outer post proficiency. We could go rainy days. Could go wet conditions. Wet conditions is probably the best. Because on a track that's wet, you really do want it. Whereas even if the track is rainy, you don't really care about guts that much. Yeah, I'm okay with wet conditions here. It's not great, but I think it's fine. Maybe the worst parent run stat line I've ever seen. We're not even S, but still. That's a reroll. I want white sparks that scroll at a minimum. This is maybe loopable. We will not use this parent for an ace run. However, I think we could use this parent for looping. Ramp up Nimble Nav Scramble is a really nice starting point for a late surge or grandparent. White sparks more important than blue sparks? It depends. So if you're making an ace like right now, you're like, I'm going to make a team trials runner today. Your blue sparks and pink sparks are more important than your white sparks. You want your white sparks to be good, but these blue sparks and pink sparks, in my opinion, would be disqualifying for an ace run. Like, just if I wanted scramble, I would not use this parent. On the other hand, when you're trying to make parents themselves, the more parents that you have that have a specific white spark, the higher your odds are for getting that skill itself to turn into a white spark at the end of your run. So what we could use this parent for, we're not going to use it for like a team trials runner or a CM runner, but what we could use this parent for is we could say, look, I want to make a parent that has ramp up, nimble, nav, scramble. I want those 3 white skills, and I'm just going to keep doing parent runs until I get good blue sparks, good pink sparks, and these 3 white skills that I want. And since you basically can't get scramble from anywhere, like if you pull it up in Uma.guide, there is no source button here because you can't get scramble from any runner or any support card right now. The only way that you can get it is from random hints in Trackblazer and Unity Cup trainings. So it is very, very, very difficult to get your hands on. And the fact that it's very difficult to get your hands on means that this is now a really valuable parent for that looping process. Because if we use this special week as a parent for a parent, we can continue to pass scramble down without relying on trying to get it from like random hints. We're getting it from our parent instead. And then if we do enough of those parent runs, eventually we're going to have good blue sparks, good pink sparks, and scramble. And at that point, that's a parent that we would use for an ace, for like a CM run or for a team trials or something like that. Where does Scramble work? It's a. Let me double check because I'd never seen it before. It's deterministic. Oh, that's sick. This skill owns. So it works anywhere from final leg onwards as long as your trainee is able to enter last spurt. So it is as soon as your trainee has the stamina to enter last spurt and start gunning for late race, Scramble triggers. So if you have enough stamina immediately when late race starts, that's it. You just take off. It's a free 0.2 acceleration for a late surger at the exact moment of the late race transition. It's very good, as long as you have the stamina. Now, it does only work for late surgers on long tracks specifically, so it's incredibly narrow. But it's very good for that specific circumstance. I'm going to hold on to this parent. I might loop with that parent. So we need to come up with a looping stamp. Let me go look through my veteran runners and figure out what stamp I'm not using right now, because I don't remember what some of these mean. And then I'll go look at Team Trials roster. I haven't forgotten about that. Is it the white version of Lose Yourself from JP? In the music, the moment? You own it? You better never let it go? I don't know. I don't read JP. What are we using Carrot for? What are you guys? I think Carrot is my style spark marker. Late, 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 end. Yeah. This is my stamp for style specific, except this heart is bad, and we're never going to use it. Alright, so Carrot is for styles. What is Bowl of Rice? Bowl of Rice is turf, but I think I started using cake for that. So let's switch you over. And also, I'm probably not going to use you either. So we can get rid of that. And that means that rice could now be our stamp for stuff that we want to loot. And then I'm pretty sure that Boba Tea was our stamp for hybrid parents for Track Blazer. So like this is mile medium, this is mile sprint, this is medium mile sprint, long mile, medium turf mile. Yeah, so that was our Track Blazer stamp. We might still use that every once in a while, but it looks like Rice Bowl is available. So let's have Rice Bowl be our stamp for stuff that we might want to loot. In which case, well, she's probably serviceable as an ace parent. Medium turf medium? Yeah, actually she's like really good as a medium parent herself, so we'll leave the medium stamp on that. Okay, and then Team Trials roster, and then I've probably got time for one more, and then we're going to pack it up for the day. We'll do one Agnes Digital run. What's up now? How's it going? This is the Team Trials roster we're currently working with, and it's in a little bit of a state of disrepair right now, but it's more or less updated. These are how good each of the runners are right now. So basically, every time we do, I can show you, every time we do a Team Trials team race, when we're interested in figuring out who our good Team Trials runners are, we write down who is in the top 3 and who's in the bottom 3, as far as scores are concerned. So like after this race, we'd come up here to score info, Special Week would get 1 point, Agnes Digital would get 1 point, Nishino Flower would get 1 point. And then El Condor Pasa would lose 1 point, Taiki would lose 1 point, Daiwa Scarlet would lose 1 point. And over time, we just sum those, and that's produced this sheet. So we're in the middle of a few rebuilds right now. Like King Halo needs to get retired. Baksha needs to get rebuilt, and Winning Ticket's actually gone. She's not even on the roster anymore. But after we're done with that, I'm going to delete all of these and reset them to 0. But you can see that our good Team Trials runners on our roster right now are this Agnes Digital. This one right here on Dirts. She is the best Team Trials runner that we have. This Tamamo Cross is decent. She's not digital, but she's good. And then also this Nishino Flower is unfortunately about to get retired and moved to Sprint because I want to try and find a way to get rid of King Halo. But she does great for herself. And then this Special Week is also very good. Those are like the big four competitive Team Trials runners that we have. But they're in a constant state of rebuild because this retention line is getting higher every single week, and I don't want to have to think about it too much. So, as long as we can keep a decent gap between us and where that line is, I'm happy. So, let's switch over to digital. Special Week is 20% stam, 10% wit. Digital is just like 7% everything, except guts. More or less, I think we can run the same deck here. And then as far as parents go, I don't think I want to try and loop Scramble onto digital. Because digital can't do longs, and Scramble's a long skill. So let's stick with this Daiwa Scarlet. The biggest thing we're looking to extract here is Umastan, because that's really the skill that we want to convert. And then as far as guest borrows go, we want to find... Were we using a digital before? Or were we using an Ogre? Who was your parent? We were using a digital. We're going to have to go and find another parent for looping then. So you, pop you up, we'll head back to Uma.moe. No, not Team Trials anymore. Go here, you can come back here. What are we looking for? We don't need Mile anymore, so we can get rid of this criteria. You can just be 5-star any pink now. We don't really care if it's Mile or not. Gives us 102 records to work with. Bourbon is going to be front specialized. I don't really care about that. Saiyans are going to be front specialized. Digital we can't use, so I guess maybe we should do this. Exclude Agnes Digital. We don't want to see you in the parent chain. Summer Marzensky's front. L is front. Saiyan's front. Brian is fairly generic. Shadowbreak works on like a lot of different people. This is too wit, too long. And we don't necessarily need long though. Don't really care about pace. Oh, this Ogre looks really good. Oh, this is Cole's. We'll just go ahead and use Cole's Ogre again. I forgot I already looked this thing up. But that seems like a really, really nice Ogre. So we need to head back in here and find Cole's Ogre. That is not Cole's. Umastan useless on front. It's lobby dependent. Umastan is good when there's other runners around you. And the reason that most people say that Umastan is good on like lates and ends is because in early race, lates and ends are basically running in exactly the same position. But if you're in a very specific kind of lobby, like for pace chasers in this CM right now, Umastan is incredibly reliable on pace chasers because everybody around you is a pace chaser. So you can guarantee that they will be near you to have it activate. And if there's lobbies where you expect a lot of fronts, same thing applies to front runners. You can put Umastan on a front, all of the other fronts around you are going to help you trigger it. So it depends on what kind of lobby you're in. It's generally safe to use on lates and ends pretty much all of the time, but there are definitely times where you can get away with using it on pace chasers or front runners and still have it be effective, depending on what kind of lobbies you think you're going to be in. Are we doing all the dirt races? Probably. I'm not sure, honestly. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to do dirts over, like, the QE2 Cup, but we can probably fit in, like, Champions Cup here and there. So, I also think that this deck is fine. This is what we used for Special Week originally, and I think it's the best result that we managed to generate. It gives us guaranteed Umastand, guaranteed groundwork, and then 2 chances at Slipstream, 2 chances at PTO. Did you get Umastand naturally? Do I still want Halo? Oh yeah, she does get it naturally. Yeah, we probably don't need Halo then. What would I want then? Does L do anything interesting? I feel like having a power card there just helps. Killer Tunes is interesting. And her events are good. I don't want to do like Daring Strike. I think that's too specialized. L's also another 5 race bonus. What is our race bonus at if we do this? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I don't hate this configuration. I think having one good power card really helps to make sure that our power is competitive, because we don't have a ton of control over getting to inherit it. Let's try this and see how we're looking. Also, somebody had asked, since the account is free to play, you basically never get to reroll sparks. No, I only do 1 run a day unless we're streaming. So I get to reroll every single spark, because the TP juice really piles up. We do like 3 to 4 runs on stream, and then we do 1 run a day. So we reroll it every single time. 2, 0, 1, 2, 0. I'm okay with speed here. Yeah, PTO is obtainable next scenario. The hints obviously still help. We're not giving anything up to get PTO into this deck, because every single card is bringing at least one other thing that we want. Like, Ina's Fujin is not here for PTO. She's here for Slipstream. And Marazensky is not here for PTO. She's here for Slipstream and Groundwork, to make Groundwork cheaper off of auction. So, we're not really giving anything up. We're kind of getting PTO for free, which, you know, is the dream. And then making it cheaper just helps with when it's a guaranteed gold out of Grand Live. 2 spirit trainings, 1 spirit training, 2 spirit trainings, but energy management. Five energy, please. Rico. L1. We need to remember that L's second event gives you 30 energy. So now that the first event is passed, I can play a little fast and loose with my energy and try and avoid resting, because I'm expecting that second event to show up before too long. Wow, great time to pick up Tail Held Eye. I may actually want to buy that now to get it out of the hint pool, because then we force Marvelous Sunday to give us other stuff out of random Unity trainings. This is Groundwork. What a cool card, by the way. Bokshin Guts is guaranteed groundwork, and then if you don't want the rest of it, she just excuses herself in the second training. I really like this card. I would not mind having a few more copies of it. I'll be taking the one that gives me mile corners and more stuff. I'm sure that her quiz events were, like, more impactful before you had the just tell me what the correct answer is option in the game. They use new secret for doing the Dirt G1 in early October. Really? Hold on. Agnes Digital. Did she get new secret events? All-Around Ruler. We should schedule that in. Classic Takarazuka. That doesn't seem great. I can skip that. And then this is it. Mile Championship Nambu High. Yeah, that looks worth doing. Alright, I'll keep these in mind, and when we have the ability to schedule races, we'll schedule that up. This is also a 6 stamina training. I'm fine gambling 13% on that. Does 5-star Uma matter? How much better than 3-star is it? Not that. You can more or less ignore it. You get a minor... God, I wish I could take that power training. You get a minor bump to your base stats, and your unique is worth more rating at the end of your run, which is an extremely small advantage for things like team trials. But besides that, it does not matter, and there's basically no circumstance where it's worth spending like money on. If you have a few free statues laying around, you can use statues on that. There's no reason to like not do it. If you have the option to star unlock, you can take the star unlock safely. There's no reason to hold it. But there's also no real reason to like do it. Arzinski to hold it. Also charming, by the way. Alright, debut time. I don't think I have anything important that I need to buy here. We can skip that. There's no reason to wail on a 5-star? No, not at all. If you've got the money to throw at it, sure, but it's not meaningfully going to improve your results in anything. Also, I was talking with a friend of mine, not like my friend with the account, like an actual friend. And I was telling him about the CM ban list. He suggested, and I think this is fun if we have the statues to afford it, that if we retire a trainee, like if a trainee wins 2 CMs and then, you know, they get added to the ban list, that we have to push them to 5-star. I don't think that I have enough statues to do that. I think it would like bankrupt me after 2 of them, but it is a fun idea that we have to 5-star anybody who wins 2 CMs. So I might take a look at my statues later and see how affordable that is. Victoria Mile. Yasuda Kinen Classic or Senior. I'll book in the Classic and Senior. So we go... That's not it. We go like this. We also go like this. And then we also go like this. So, Classic's gonna be... Well, maybe we skip this then. Because then I don't want to be running 5 in a row. Then we do this. But then we can do this, because we did Takarazuka in Classic. And then we do this. And then we do this. There's no way that we can get around doing this. Oh, this should be the Oaks, not the Derby. He's a Tiara lady. So I don't think we can get around this 4-race stretch. And I also don't think I can get around this 5-race stretch. The most common... Wait a minute, isn't the JBC Classic supposed to be a medium? Why is this a mile? Hello? Oh, you guys can't see it. I'm still on Uma.guide. That's right, I'm not copying paste anymore. Isn't the JBC Classic supposed to be a medium? Why is it a mile? I know that the track changes, but I didn't think that the distance changed. Like, if I go back to Uma.guide, and I go to, like, there should be, like, a race browser? Agenda Planner might have it? The JBC Classic is supposed to be a medium, man. Why is it a mile? That's weird. I still feel like the Ladies Classic is probably the one that gets run more often. I guess we do that. And then we do this. Whoa, what? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I've always seen that be a medium. I'm not sure why it's a mile. I don't know if that's a bug or what. It was still just a medium for Rudolph? I'll ask Apple later. If anybody knows, Apple will. I'll see what he thinks of that. But I don't think that's like the way that's supposed to work. I think that's supposed to be a medium. And then I also need to find what was it? The Zen Nippon Mile Championship? No, the Mile Championship Nambu High, which is early October. Can I do that in senior? Yes, I can. Okay. And it can be either of them. Okay. Well, I guess here's the other way we could check it. No, dude, because it's a medium in classic. So the JBC Classic is an Oi in classic year, and it's a medium. And then in senior year, the JBC Classic is at Funabashi, and it's a mile. Yeah, maybe that's a runner-specific thing, but I don't know. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that, because that seems very odd. I'm hoping that's not like another source of RNG for a run, because if you're trying to do like a Haru run, and you're like... you can't do mediums, there might just be a race that's off limits to you. That doesn't feel great. So I think this is the schedule, right? G1, G1. These are the common ones that everybody's going to do. I'm prioritizing turfs when I can. We're doing Tiara, Okusho, Oaks, Shukusho, NHK Mile Cup, Takuruzuka Kinan Classic, QE2 Cup, Mile Championship, Old Turf. Champions Cup is like the only dirt early December. We get Affinity for Tokyo Daishoten late December, and then we do Tenosho Autumn, JBC Ladies Classic, Japan Cup, Nambu High for special event. Are there any G1 dirts that I'm forgetting? Is I guess my only question. Because I know there's new ones. Yes, there's the Kawasaki Kinan. And then are there any down here? No. Early Feb Senior G1? I forgot it existed, but I remember it now. Don't think there's any new ones around this section of the calendar. And then I don't think there's any down here either. I don't want to do 5 in a row, so we're going to skip the Nambu High Classic. I think that's good. I think that's the schedule. So we need to train aggressively so that we still hit like our stat thresholds while running that many races. Let's get into it. Yeah, Rice Shower changes the track, and I know that some goal races do some funky stuff, but these are not goal races. They're scheduled races. Like, they're just on the calendar. Other one clashes with Vic Mile. I'd rather take the Vic Mile because I think most parents are going to be doing turf races when they can. I don't think anybody's parent run is going to be taking like a dirt race over a turf race. Unless the turf race is just outside of the bounds of what your aptitude can do. First, single spirit, double spirit, single spirit. I don't really like any of these, honestly. I guess we just keep saving energy, but I'm thinking about L's second event in the back of my mind here, and if I see it pop up, I'm going to be annoyed. Focus is going to get cheaper off of Maruzensky's chain, so I don't need to buy that yet. Burst on stamina seems totally fine. Work on some friendships, get another hint out of Sunday. Straightaway adept, I can buy that and get that out of the pool now. I don't have Charming right now, right? I did get Charming. Okay, I can skip Charming. There's an argument, given that it's a parent run, for trying to take Winning Chakra, because we get Corner Wreck and Straightaway Wreck for free. And it's also pretty easy to overcome minus 20 energy and minus 2 mood. I think it's better than Health Chakra, and we don't need to take Charm Chakra. So I would be willing to gamble on this and try to turn these into White Sparks. It's fine. We can recover from that. That's not that bad. There's a guaranteed mood up here, and then we can just do a couple races. I'm a little bummed to miss out on that spirit training, though. You could still take it. If we fail this speed training, it's really bad. Because we still don't have the energy to train, and we'll be in bad mood. But at the same time, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, we're in serious trouble now. We're in a lot of trouble. 10 stam, 10 speed. I need the speed. I've been choosing 5th option a lot in Unity. I think I'd basically always take 3rd option. Unless I had a reason to do something else. Let's just wreck and get it over with. Sure. Sure. Okay, now we're fine. We've undone our damage, but we lost 2 turns in the process. This is okay, but this is better friendship. We won't fail a 5% training. Like, the safest option to take out of that event is option 3. If it's earlier in the run, you take option 4. If you're willing to gamble, Martinsky actually has a pretty decent amount of value for us. Summer Runner, Groundwork, PTO, Slipstream. Yeah. Great. So good. I can buy that. And then this is where we get all of our energy back. Okay, we're mostly pulled back into this now. We had a rough series of turns in junior year, but we've mostly clawed our way back out. Let's buy Adept. And then after like 2 wit trainings, we can come and buy... After 1 wit training, we can come and buy PTO. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. This is 2 runners to gold. And we could still train late November too. Yeah, sure. That's Killer Tunes done. Decent wit training puts Sunday to gold. Decent stamina training puts Bokshin to gold, puts Ina's Fujin and Sweep Dosho to burst. Okay. Fine with that. For the Rudolph Run Restart, you have a different track, but it's medium for the JBC Classic. Did you check Classic and Senior, though? Because right now, I've got a mile for Classic and a medium for Senior. Also, let's go buy PTO. Actually makes a pretty significant effect in our performance in a race, I would bet. And then pace is fine. I just don't want to get blocked. Good. Ugh. I'll ping Apple now so I don't forget. Usually he's here, but I guess he's busy. Ayunak just pinged him. I'm gonna ping him too. Hey, so I'm doing a run on stream where the JBC Classic is a medium in Classic year, but a mile in Senior year. I know that the JBC races change track, but I didn't know they also change distance. You or anybody else with Uma.guide know about what this is? Question mark? We'll see what he says. I'll keep an eye on that. Still medium, but another different track. Okay. No, no, no. If it rolls Funabashi, it turns into a mile. So it might just be that, like, Funabashi doesn't have a medium distance track. And so when... Because it seems like all of the JBC races are always at the same location. We will not be winning both junior year G1s, by the way. It seems like they're always at the same location, but I guess not all of the locations have the same distance track. It just seems odd. It's very strange to me. It's very unusual. 33 and 0 is not pleasant, but we've had some struggles with this run so far, so I think it's understandable. Sure. A win is a win. Definitely need energy at this point, and we probably need to rest here as well, unless it's a great wit training. It's not good enough. Oh, she has a 2400. What the heck, man? Then why do they not use that for a medium G1? I'm so confused. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this after I'm done on the stream. I don't think you guys want to watch me try and do, like, research live, but I'm gonna find out what's going on here after we're done. I think I need to prioritize power here. It's just, like, the safest way for us to... Actually, our speed is really bad, too. We should just take speed. Our speed is critically low. Let's do that. Steadfast is pretty whatever. Marvelous Sunday hint has a decent amount of value. Let's grab that. No real reason to spend energy if we don't have to. Ramp up is good. I'll buy that. The IRL course changes distance from year to year? That's crazy. So, like, I don't follow horse racing at all. Maybe this is, like, obvious to people who follow horse racing, and they're like, yeah, duh, obviously it changes distance from year to year. But, like, I watch Formula 1, man. It would be like if they just decided one year that, like, they weren't going to use one of the corners. They're like, yeah, we're not doing the Camel Straight at Spa this year. It's not in the rotation for this one. You're going to have to come and catch it next time. This seems like an okay burst on Wit. I don't really want to burst on Guts unless I have to. This puts Fujin to gold, which I think, like, it would be nice to get out of the way, for sure. And I don't really want to burst on Wit because it's going to waste a little energy. Let's get Fujin done, and then we don't have to think about that anymore. The IRL race ranges between 1,800 and 2,000 meters. Okay. If that's the way it works IRL, then it makes sense. But I'm in the same camp that Bobby is. Like, the fact that some races are specific distances is hardwired into my brain now. Because it's just the way that they work. Can I wreck here? I should power here. I really don't like what my speed is doing. But I think if I have a burst in front of me, I have to slipstream. Okay. So we have Slipstream, PTO, Umastand Groundwork, Medium S, Ignited Power, Slick Surge, Nimble Nav. That's a lot of good white sparks. White hints. Sorry, they're not sparks yet. Okay. Whatever. We're gonna run the Oka Show. Ignited speed is maxed, and we're going to buy that before the end of the run, so let's grab it. I also wouldn't mind Slipstream getting a little cheaper here. Getting one more hint on that wouldn't be that bad. I'm deeply worried about her speed right now. Yeah, I was right to be worried. It's not ideal. This may be a deck where we need to run a third speed card. Like, I think L might just need to be a speed card. This also has to be a rest. That's not great either. Also, the Oaks disqualifies us from her secret event. This doesn't kill the parent run, but it's definitely not... Okay, it's really not good. You know, we probably have time to run this one back one more time before we're done with stream. It's just going to need to be a relatively fast career run. But I think enough has gone wrong here that we can go ahead and door this, and we can just switch the deck out really quick. Sure. Little did they know, it was the last time that they would see me ever again. Alright, let's get one more in quick. If we cancel now, we have time to finish up. I don't like the Dora run, but there's enough that went wrong there that I'm okay with it. We go Marazensky, you're gone. I think you just need to be Tosin Jordan for starting stats. We're not getting any valuable insight of this whatsoever, but it's going to give us a bit of an extra cushion to actually, like, win races, which is meaningful for a parent run. And then, because 30 minutes should pass between now and the time we're done, we shouldn't even have to drink a TP juice to reroll the sparks at the end of the run, because it's just going to cost me another 30. Alright, let's be speedy. 2, 1, 1, 1. That's just fine. Hint for Ines Fujin has insane value. There's one of them. Let's go ahead and get that off the drop table. Good. Should have saved her dang schedule before I quit out of that run. It's fine. I can rebuild it fairly quickly. I remember where most of it was. No. Yes. At 18%? Absolutely. That's fine. Does not kill the run. If you don't take that training, you're not a Numa trainer anymore. Definitely not. Son of a... Okay. I'm back. I'm good now. There was a brief moment where I wasn't good, but now I'm good. I think top pick is, like, significantly better than acceleration, so let's take that. I don't know if she's going to be a dirt parent, but top parent is a really good skill for dirt runners. And then I can't keep doing 24s. Give me the energy. I'll find a way to fix Wreck. We'll see Ines Fujin show up. We'll get +2 mood. We'll be right back in. When you have half energy on those turns you've been resting, so you can do a few in a row. Yeah, but, like, I would gamble on this training at its sub 20% fail basically every time I see it. Anytime I see that training sub 20%, I'm gonna take it. Slipstream's done. It's just such an efficient training for giving you friendship and spirit training per turn. That's also really good. Resting on wit seems fine here to manage energy. Now I'm like, we can take this opportunity to manage our energy a bit. This also is a Fujin hint, which could be something good again. Speed Eater? Probably not. Marvelous Sunday Burst, on the other hand, is a chance to get a lot of interesting skills. So I think I like that. 3 spirit trainings versus the 1, but it's a good burst. I can take that. Is Unyielding worth it? I think it's fine. It's a very inoffensive skill. It's like, it doesn't do much. It's okay for team trials. It's okay for, like, winning races. It's cheap, and it doesn't have much of an effect. I think that's the best answer that I could give. Good. Alright, so I need to take a wreck here. When I find an opportunity to. And then let's get our agenda loaded. So we go here. 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 Also, what are our mediums this time? This time it's the Mile Classic year. And it's the medium senior year. We go here. And then here. And also there's one here. And then here. And here. And then here. Here and here. And then here. And that's the schedule we were using last time. Okay. Auction hint, not super valuable, but it is a wit training that just saves us energy. So I can justify taking that. Still would love to find the opportunity to recreate here at some point. I don't need gap closer. Give me the stats. I can find some places to get energy back, probably. 1, 1, 1, 1. Man, just take the recreation and get it off your chest. Beautiful. Okay. Very good. Give me speed, because I'm deeply worried about it right now. First on wit, single spirit training power, double spirit training speed. This conserves energy, which I'd rather do right now. I don't feel compelled to take an average training when I could just get a bunch of energy back. And I would say that 2 friends, 2 spirit trainings is fairly average for us right now. Maybe, maybe, maybe. This is probably our best. It puts Fujin to gold, which means that we have energy recovery on our wit cards online a little bit. That's not great, but we have a mood up coming here. That's also not great. It's just a not an efficient way for us to spend our energy. I think we have to full rest here, which sucks. But the wit training is not very good. 1, 1, 2, sure. We can still train next turn. This is our mood up. Speed 10, stam 10. Our stamina is going to be fine. Let's just keep running with speed for a bit. All of these are pretty average trainings and mean we can't train next turn, so let's manage energy. We run so many G1s on this schedule that I'm not even really looking at like G2s and G3s as an option for training on these turns. Hesitant pace versus speed and wit. I don't mind having hesitant pace unlocked. 1, 2, and 3 friendships? Sure, I can justify that. Homestretch haste I can also justify. It's also just like the better choice. 2 spirit trainings, 1 spirit training. This saves energy. It also puts Marvelous Sunday to gold. This is my mood to great now. Okay, I feel like we have mostly pulled this one back. None of these are amazing. Let's continue to just manage energy, and then we'll take these G1s. And then we can leave this junior year behind us. When you run G1 for parent farming, does the race your ace run matters? Yes. So the way that affinity for G1 wins works is you get affinity not for winning a G1, but for winning the same G1 as your other parent and grandparents. So if you look at my 2 parents here, parent number 1 is this Daiwa Scarlet, parent number 2 is this Ogre. If I win, let's say like well, Daiwa can't run dirt, so it'd basically only be this Ogre. If we do the Champions Cup, the only way we actually get affinity out of that is if this Ogre also won the Champions Cup. We know that Daiwa Scarlet didn't, because she can't run dirts. So she's not actually going to give us any extra affinity for that. It's only if that race win is shared among parents and grandparents that you get the affinity for it. So what you're generally doing when you're doing parent runs is you're trying to win as many unique G1s as possible. Because that way you're maximizing the potential affinity that you could be getting with lots of different parents. So the reason we're doing like the Hanshin JF instead of the Futurity stakes is because most other people do the JF. So our odds of getting the affinity bonus from it go up when we choose to run the JF, because we're assuming a lot of other parents do. And if we really wanted to min-max, which I'm not doing right now, but we could be, we would actually check. And we could say, okay, which of our parents and grandparents won the JF? And let's make sure that we're prioritizing either the JF or the futurity stakes, depending on which of those two is more common among our parents. I'm just doing the JF because I assume people are still using a lot of Trackblazer parents, and in Trackblazer, the JF was part of an epithet, and the futurity stakes wasn't. So in Trackblazer, you just always ran the JF. There was no reason to, like, not do it. But now that we're back in a Unity Cup world and we're preparing to be in a Grand Live world, there's like trainee career goals that you have to think of, where some trainees are forced to run the futurity stakes. Unless you're doing a Trackblazer run, in which case you can do any G1 you want. Energy here for sure. Damn guts to 2. Decent wit training. Definitely better than anything else going on here. And the Hanshin JF is part of digital secret events. And if you really want to get into the weeds, the white spark that you get for winning the Hanshin JF is marginally better than the futurity stakes. But that's if you're, like, really trying to min-max it. This, I think we have to take for friendship purposes at this point. We need to get our speed cards online before summer, otherwise we're going to have problems long term. So it's not great for spirit training, but I think we have to take it. Love the idea of an Ines Fujin hint right now. So let's do that. Mile straight's kind of whatever. It's just stats, that's kind of whatever. Anything I can buy here to get out of our drop table? We can buy Slipstream at this point. And that's about it. The rest of this stuff we either don't need or could get cheaper. No reason to run parents in URA. There's a minor reason to run parents in URA, and that's because if there's the new, like, dual Happy Meek mechanic in URA, and you can get some halfway decent skills from doing those events. So I was talking earlier about, like, the idea of looping white sparks and grabbing white sparks and then passing them down through inheritance chains rather than through, like, bringing King Halo power on every single run so that you can get Umastan. What you do for parent runs in URA is you do URA to get the Happy Meek skills as white sparks, and then you loop them onto a parent run that you're not doing in URA Finale, because URA Finale is the weakest scenario for actually, like, building stats. So all of the runners you're going to get out of URA Finale are going to have, like, worse blues on average because your stats just aren't going to be as high. It's harder to hit 1100 in multiple stat lines. But you can at least get the white sparks, and then you can pull them back out of the scenario to build ace runners elsewhere. Speaking of Racing Spirit Stamina, that's actually a huge inspiration. What did we get out of that? We got Homestretch Haste, which is good, Groundwork, which is good, Nimble Nav, which is good, Racing Spirit Stamina, which is good, Corner Adept, which is good, and Umastan, which is good. That's a really good inheritance. I would like to buy a few of those, because I'd like to win races. So let's buy Corner Adept. I don't mind having it as a white spark, and it's just a nice generic skill. Anytime you're running a deck, you usually have Kitasan in it. And making Corner Adept cheaper makes Curvature cheaper, and you're buying Curvature in most cases, so. Every Racing Spirit equally good? I don't remember all of them offhand. I just know that Stamina is, like, one of the better ones. Racing Spirit Stamina is good, and then there's, like, Racing Spirit Mood, which is supposed to be... Wow, I wish I could take that. I mean, I guess I could. It's a 1/3 to fail. Be willing to gamble on that. That's fine. That's okay. We don't actually, like, lose mood for failing a wit training. So I know that Racing Spirit Stamina is good. I know that Racing Spirit Mood is, like, situationally good as a groundwork trigger. I don't know about any of the rest of them, though. Wish I could have that wit training back. That would have been so nice to hit, but... At least you haven't dropped any G1s yet. Doesn't really matter that we're missing Breath of Fresh Air. 254 stamina is a little spooky to try and win the derby off of. I guess we could get straight recovery. It's not great. I don't love spending skill points on that, but I think we need something to get through the derby unscathed here. We could also run late to conserve a little bit of extra stamina, although I don't like how many fronts there are. There we go. Mood is nice as it's guaranteed for CM finals, you genius! It makes perfect sense now. Because I saw that skill and I was like, it doesn't seem that good. You're like 1 in 3 to hit, but I didn't even think of the fact that your mood is fixed to great in the finals. That's genius. No wonder that skill is so good. No, no, no. And we have to run the Takarazuka here because we can't in Senior because we want to run the Taiyosho. We're cleaning up on races right now. Like, training's notwithstanding, whatever you can do about that is like, whatever. But we have won every single G1 so far, which is very nice. We really need to make some hay in this summer, though, because our stat line is abysmal. Our spirit trainings are also fairly abysmal. We're hanging in there, but just barely. Anything we need to buy? Haste at 3. I think we could just go ahead and take at this point. I don't know where else we might be able to get that from, but we could also go Umastan. Like, we could get these from inheritances, I guess, which would make them slightly cheaper, but I'd rather have the insurance policy of using them to help win races. Because we don't get to re-roll anything that's not a career goal. Alright, so we get 3 summer break turns now. That seems fine for saving energy. There's Racing Spirit and Racing Spirit Plus. Any of the sparks that have plus on them just give you extra stats. So Ignited Spirit Wit Plus increases your Wit and gives a skill hint for Ignited Spirit Wit, whereas Ignited Spirit Power just gives a skill hint for Ignited Spirit Power. And that's it. That's the only difference between them. This is Tosin Jordan to gold, which I think I probably need to take at this point. When's Tachyon banner? Like 4 days from now? I think it's the 22nd. Less than a week now. Very close. The time of our reckoning approaches. Plus version is definitely better, but I don't think you have any control over whether you get the normal version or the plus version. I, wouldn't spend a lot of time thinking about it. I think it's just like, if you get the plus version, it's nice, but if you get the normal version, it's fine. Over the course of a run, it's going to be, what, 10 stats maybe, or something like that? It's not that meaningful. Alright, we definitely need to rest now. Well, maybe we don't. You can't loop the plus version out of this... Oh, son of a... That's 2 wit trainings. We've failed now. You can't loot the plus version out of the scenario. You mean like if you have Ignited Power Plus and you buy Ignited Power, that it doesn't increase your odds of getting Ignited Spirit Power? Or just that, like, you can't get the plus version if you're not in the scenario itself? It's got the challenge, the sprint title. That's huge. IMO, that's probably the second hardest one to get. So I think you've saved yourself quite a bit of time by knocking that one out. Medium, speed eater, miles, sprint. I don't really care about any of these. Nimble nav to 2 could still get a little cheaper. I think we're good to just send it. Some of those challenge the insert distance / surface here. Those could be fun to do as like a stream at some time. We could try and knock out as many of those as we can. Doesn't contribute to sparking ignited power. Okay, you can still get the base spark. Okay. So it's just like, wow. So here's the thing. We're scheduled to do the QE2 Cup Classic, and we're scheduled to do the JBC Ladies Classic Senior. However, the JBC Ladies Classic only builds our affinity if it's another dirt parent. And if it's not a dirt parent, it doesn't matter. Which means that we could do the QE2 Cup here, and then we could take this Guts training to use up 2 bursts and get Sweep Tosho to gold and put Haru to burst. And break up a 4 race stretch here. I think that's worth doing. We're giving up a G1 here, but I think it's a G1 that most other people aren't doing. So I think we're unlikely to lose a lot of affinity for it. And then we go Mile Championship, we go Champions Cup, and then we probably rest late December. And if we rest too well, if we hit the plus 70, we can just take skill points out of the New Year's event. Okay. In G1, place within the top 3 times in the next 14 turns. Yeah, I think I can probably manage that. I think we might be able to finish that specific career goal. It's a decent wit training, and we could slide the Champions Cup to senior year, but then we'd be doing 5 in a row. So let's avoid doing that if we can, and we'll just hope that this wit training comes back in December. Good. Hello, Etsuko. Nice to see you. Oh, I want this. This is the training that I want this turn. I guess the burst on Guts isn't horrible because we can't fail it. And then we also get to take 30 energy at the start of senior, which we could just roll into a wit training. Seems fine to me. I wanted that stamina training though. Okay, everything is fine. Like we're not sad because this run is miles better than the last one. Even if we have failed 2 20% with trainings. Which I think is like a scam personally, but it's not up to me. Okay. Energy here. Wit training here. Mercifully, it's the wit training that I want. Is the next CM at 08? That is what I've heard. So I don't start CM prep until the CM like actually gets announced in the in-game news, and I don't think that one's in yet. But I have heard from others that it is at Oi, and it's the 2,000 meter perfectly flat race course. That manages energy. I have Slipstream, but this puts Marozensky to gold. You have Slipstream, right? Yes. Yeah, let's get Marozensky to gold so we don't have to worry about it. Perfectly flat track just means you need more stamina than you think. That's the only thing that it changes. You recover stamina when you're running on downhills, so if there's no downhill, you recover no stamina. But otherwise, you figure out the stamina threshold exactly the same way you would for any other track. You just plug it into, like, Tachidev or Uma Later or whatever sim you want, and then you keep bumping up your stamina threshold until you no longer fail to enter last spurt, and then that's the target you aim for. Except because this is a medium, you probably add like another 100. Just to be safe. Like, I'll have a better idea once I've actually looked at the track map, but the target I'm aiming for is probably going to be 800 and a gold. Just if I had to guess. It's probably going to be like Super Creek territory. We had to lose a G1 eventually. If people bring debuff hell, it'll be annoying. I can guarantee you that you will see at least one person trying to run double 564 mystifying. But the neat thing about stamina debuffs is that as long as you plan for them, you can ignore them. Like, Dominator hits you no matter what. It doesn't matter how fast you are, it doesn't matter how much stamina you have, it doesn't matter how many accelerations you hit. If you get hit by Dominator, you go slower. But stamina debuffs, you can just outstam by aiming a little higher than the stamina threshold. And yeah, it means you might have a little less speed and a little less wit and, you know, maybe a few less skills than you wanted because you have to bring Creek or some other stamina card. But it also means that if you run into a debuffer, you still get to finish the race. Not really. I mean, you don't have the energy for anything, you just rest. Mystifying Murmur doesn't need 564. I mean, technically nothing needs 564, but that doesn't stop people from using it. I think there's a lot of people who are going to get caught out by the stamina requirements on the upcoming CM. Which is good, because that's an opportunity for people who are looking at the track and thinking about the meta to be clever with their build craft. Like, if you're not paying attention to the fact that Full Throttle and Racing Spirit stamina and Scramble and all of these other skills actually consume stamina to activate, and you're not looking up on Uma.guide how much stamina they consume, which, spoilers, is quite a bit, you are going to wind up in trouble. Whereas somebody who's, like, looking at the track map and paying attention to what kind of stamina threshold you need to actively be safe is going to be able to harvest free wins off of these people. So, as viewers of this particular YouTube channel, which tends to be known for overthinking things, possibly to like a concerning degree, my expectation for every single one of you who's going to be doing prep for Virgo on that flat OE race course is that you are prepared for the amount of stamina that it's going to consume, and that you plan accordingly. Because we all know it's going to be a problem. But it's a problem that has solutions. I'm still annoyed we dropped the Feb stakes, because that's one of the races we needed for the secret event. It means we miss out on Updrafters and Unyielding Spirit. Which isn't horrible, because we didn't necessarily want to make them. We're only at 58 Unity trainings. What the heck? I don't think there's any way that we make it out of this alive. We are not prepared to fight a team this strong. But this is why we have clocks. Never mind, we're fine. Wasn't even that close, honestly. And then we're into summer break on no energy. So this needs to be a rest. I wish I could take that with training. It's great for energy management, but we need to hit him with one of these, and then we need to hit him with one of... We could hit him with one of these. But then we're going to need to hit him with another... This wit training is not worth taking, though. So I think we just have to take the thing that's good and in front of us. And then maybe if we see a wit training, we could take it. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, but then we need to do it again. Alright, we'll be resting. Yeah, we'll absolutely be resting. That's too bad. We've whiffed on our last training. I also don't think we're hitting SS on this run, but we still have a really good set of potential white sparks that we could get. So I'm not that worried about it. We could still hire them. Have you. Can't use Nakayama Wit for the next CM. I mean, you can. The question is, where's your stamina going to come from? Right? Because it's not like, oh, you can't use any skill that costs you stamina to activate. The question is, how are you going to pay for it? And maybe it means if you really want to run Nakayama Wit, you're rocking up to a 2,000 meter track with like 900 stam and 600 guts and a gold skill. But if that's the way you want to solve that problem because you think Nakayama's gold is worth it, then that's a solution to that problem. Good. Not good. We have to win the QE2 Cup here because we skipped it Classic year. This is a major race for Affinity. Good. And then Japan Cup is also a major race for Affinity. And then early December Wit, ideally. Please stop checking your phone about raffles, Digital. Can we focus on training? Just don't look at your phone. Nothing good happens on your phone. Great time for Etsuko to show up. Never mind, you can look at your phone again if you want. Great time for an Extreme Burst on Whip to show up. I'm back in. There's no way that we hit SS on this run. But I think we at least have the stats to, like, to win the finals. It's nice, but just run with this. Excited for the finals, hoping your Ryan wins, but still happy if Ogre and Bakshin pull it out. Ogre looks so fun to build for that sprint track, man. He looks so fun. I wish I had Ogre. Ryan, I feel like, just takes a little too much work for my blood, and also, like, Let's Pump Some Iron is not the most reliable thing in the world. But Sprint Ogre is legitimately terrifying on that track. Yep. Okay, okay. We're heading into the finals with a full clock budget. Power to 5. Good for managing energy right now. I don't need to take this yet. This would be like a let's take it on the last turn kind of deal. Power is going to get over 600. That's good. Guts is not. We don't care. We would like to get stamina over 600, though. Okay. And then... maybe. How many more of those do I have sitting around? 3. Okay, I'll take one of them now, and then we're just going to cross our fingers that we see another one on the last training. One race for someone 5'6", 40-year-old green. It pulled her back to 3rd right before 200 meters. Was it one of the runs that we did that I recorded where somebody like passed air groove to put her in range of hitting on your left, and then she hit on your left because she's fallen back to 4th, and then she won? There have been so many of those races where somebody has passed one of my runners, oh god, to put me into like the perfect position to actually, whatever, man. It's the last turn. It was worth a shot. It does not change anything meaningful about the outcome of this run. There have been so many of those moments, which I've had so much more fun in this sprint CM than the previous sprint CM, and I'm not quite sure why. We go again. We've seen this before. Probably should have bought skills, now that I'll buy it. Digital, you can do this. I believe in you. Digital. You can win this race, Digital. She can't win this race. Yeah. As much as it pains me, I might need to get rid of Bakshin Guts here. This deck is just not consistent enough. I need to do that, or I need to drop, like, 3 G1s from the schedule. Should have gotten skills? In retrospect, I should have. In retrospect, I definitely should have. But I also think that we're right on the edge of having good enough cards to run this many G1s and still, like, reliably finish a career. I think we're committing to, like, mile and medium here. You can specialize in the late, though. Super stand for sure. Groundwork. Ignited power for sure. And I want racing stamina. Alright, one of you needs to go. You can get out of here. Because we want racing stamina. Yeah, I don't think Bakshin Guts is doing enough. Like, it's a really neat card. And I wish that I had more uncaps on it, but it's 0 uncaps. I don't think it's pulling its weight here. I also think Groundwork is probably the weaker of the skills that we're looking to loot. So, yeah, I think we need to I think we need to bin that one. Holy white sparks. Ramp up Nimble Nav, Pilfer, late straights, late corners, power plus. It's none of the ones that we want to loot, but it is a lot of white sparks. That's also a pretty decent amount of white sparks. But it's worse. They're all race sparks. Corner out of ramp up, medium straights, ignited power. Neither of these are good enough. IMO. This one is marginally better, though, because it's got late straights, late corners, power, but I still don't know that I'm ever really going to try and chain those. So we'll just grab that. We're probably not going to use either of them. And then we'll do a little bit of deck tweaking here before the next time we try and do some looping. But we've at least gotten one interesting parent out of this. We haven't gotten anything that's usable for like an ace run in the future. But we did... No, wait, that's not true. We got a decent long parent, too. So we've gotten 2 parents that are halfway decent. We've gotten this long special week. 3 speed, 2 long, 2 shooting star. Nimble Nav, homestretch ace, tail held high. Focus, ignited stamina. The pink sparks are a little all over the place, but don't worry about that too much. And then we've also got this L that we might want to try and chain, because we've got 3-star scramble. So, it hasn't been a total wash. I think there's some interesting stuff that we can do with them. Let's go claim the rest of our dailies, and then I'm going to pack it up for the day. Got archive to 74 for another 50 carats. We have a club to check in on. There it is. And then let's grab all of our goodies. Yoink. Yoink. And yoink. Oh, Trini's got a ticket? I might as well go gamble that. There's no reason not to. No. No. Worth a shot. Alright, well, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to go see what my wife is up to and probably make some dinner. As always, if you are enjoying the Uma stuff, do make sure that you like this stream if you can find a way to do it, or just subscribe to the channel to keep an eye on what kind of stuff is coming out in the future. CM registration? Yeah, we can register for CM quick. Make sure we have that done. Are you the right Nishino? Yes. This is the team. Lock it in. We'll find out how those do in tomorrow's video. So, I will see you guys around for that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the parent runs. And I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.